Hit record. What's up, you filthy animals? Bust out your Skittles. It's beast mode time. Oh shit! Oh shit!
We got the real music on finally.
It's turning badass in here. It's gonna be a black Christmas in this motherfucker.
Those guys are beast live.
That was an ode to Nelson Slipknot. So, we've been bouncing the hip-hop, the Bieber, the Drake. So we're gonna throw some Slipknot at you. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. What's going on? Nobody's podcast.
We got the special guest back, Chris.
Hello!
Probably the most insensitive guy I know.
You're in for a treat today. Get ready to beef. Let's we're up for the grudge match.
So let's start with the big one here.
Hell yeah.
Justine Sacco. Do you guys know this woman? Have you heard about her?
Sacco, no. What's the deal?
What is this shit?
So she is...
You're bringing all this weird shit up.
Where do you find your shit?
So first of all, I'm gonna start the story with she is a PR rep, okay? So she should know better. She should know the power of social media, okay?
PR rep for who?
This marketing company that owns the Match.com.
Okay.
And some other website that I've never heard before.
I love where this is headed.
Here's the tweet, okay? Going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS. Just kidding, I'm white.
Oh, no! Are you serious?
I swear to God.
She said that for real?
She said that before she jumped on the plane.
She tweeted that?
She tweeted
Good
that.
for her.
Oh my God.
And by the time she landed, there was a hit on her, pretty much.
Oh my God.
People were losing their minds.
Who tweets that kind of bullshit?
So by the time she landed, she didn't have a job. Her profile was removed from Twitter.
Who does she work for?
Match.com.
Oh my God.
So clearly,
I don't know whether to laugh my ass off about that or she's the stupidest woman on the planet.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. Like,
one or the other. There's no in between on this one.
Oh my God. So. Oh crap! I'm
So-
just like my jaw's on the floor.
So it's the tweet heard around the world is basically what they're saying. The company's named IAC. They fired her, apparently. So now she's like, her life is in like shambles now because people have like death threats against her and her family and stuff. Which, if you're sending death threats, are you any better than that comment? For one.
Oh, so it goes back to the Paul Walker adorable list, right?
Well,
getting death threats.
Well, he says
She's gonna get hired. She's who was this chick 20 minutes ago? Nobody. We didn't even heard about her. Now we're like, oh yeah, the tweet her around the world chick.
What did you think that was going to be fun?
Bring her on the podcast.
Yeah, that's not funny at all. Like, I mean, what is she thinking?
Look how many retweets she got. There's 360 sickos out there.
So one guy apparently like threatened to kill her niece or nephew, which is like, what the hell does that mean?
Oh my
If she
God.
took out the white part, it's probably slightly funny. Like, take that part out. I'm giggling under my breath.
Oh my
I don't want people to know I found it funny, but it's funny.
Mr. Insensitive.
I think that I'm white is just you went too far now.
I don't even know what
You
she's
took the
thinking.
funny away from it.
I don't know what she's thinking.
My jaw's on.
With
Let's
that-
get her on here. I want to know what she
Yeah,
meant.
Oh my
I bet you
God.
millions of people are trying to get her on the show now.
That's insane.
See, she's brilliant.
So there was another screenshot here that showed different tweets that she followed up with.
After this one?
Yeah, like please stop, please stop the threats, blah blah blah. Like so now she's like freaking out.
So,
Let's be honest.
But
though.
what do you think? Oh, here it is.
so she tweets back, I can't be fired for things I say while I'm intoxicated, right?
Oh, so now that's her cover up. I
And
had a
then
sex
she also
stream about
puts-
an autistic kid last night.
Oh my God.
That's not any good either.
She keeps going. It's unclear what the ramification of her tweet about Africa.
Oh, that was
would be.
February 2012. I guess they're showing how fucked
So
up.
she's done some stupid stuff.
Yeah, so
before.
maybe she can't handle her ride. Relax.
But
Oh my God.
but how do you not know that this is the backlash you're going to get from a comment like that on Twitter? You're a PR person.
You know what?
You know how Twitter works.
If people on Twitter are giving you death threats, they're
It's
not
not-
really death threats.
and they're
You
not
don't know
really-
who these fucking people
Exactly.
are. How does Twitter affect you in any way?
and that's what my point is there.
It's all invisible people saying
Exactly.
stupid, invisible things that have no point in your life.
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess the
that
point
wouldn't
is-
have the balls big enough to say it to her
Yeah,
face.
if you saw her in Limeridge Mall, you wouldn't say two words to
I'd
her.
be like, just say what's going on.
But then you're taking away. So there's less meaning because you're not present. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, me too.
So does that mean there's less meaning?
They're
to
empty
what she's
threats.
saying?
No, but I'm saying the threats are empty, so she can like be a little bit more chill.
No, I think what she
She's not gonna die over
Yeah,
this.
she knows there's not going to be there's a limited backlash.
Yeah.
No, but she's like freaking out. Like,
Yeah,
I
but if
can't
all the
believe
people who said they wanted to kill her, you put her in a room with them, are they really going to kill her? No, they're going to pussy young
obviously.
turtle.
Yeah,
they're not.
they want to make her feel like the fear.
I want to hear hate tweets. They're funny.
She has to be racist though to say something like that. Has to be.
I guess she's used to saying some pretty rancid shit on the air on Twitter.
I guess, and she.
Like I said, without the white part, it's borderline funny to me.
But I think execs, once you get to that level, have certain
Okay, she's pushing the envelope on the joke.
they gotta have a certain level of balls, like trying stuff that you wouldn't.
I don't think it's balls. I think they're fucking crazy. She has no idea what she's saying.
She is.
That's someone trying too hard to be funny, and it blew up in their fatch book.
How did they expect
she
that to be
got
funny?
fired? She got fired.
She's a
from the job?
crazy
She did.
fucking white chick. Look at her.
got fired.
That's insane. I can't believe I didn't see this.
She works for PR. She's probably been so politically correct for so many years. She freaked out. I need to get some of this shit off my chest. She got drunk one night. She's on the 40 Creek. She lost it. Good for her. Let loose a little bit.
Yeah, there was a screen somewhere here that talked about all the other like she's begging people to stop like threatening her and stuff, and
Okay,
like her life is in shambles now because of it.
that's insane.
But how do you expect not to get that reaction? Is what I'm.
Is there a stat that we can find if you've been had a death threat? How many people actually died because of it? Like, did it actually turn into anything?
That would be an interesting.
That's the
stat.
funny part.
Or did you make more money because you did something so ridiculous you got death threats? Like, I want to know.
so
I guess that's the point. There's never any follow-up news about what happens to these
No,
people.
but if she shows up dead, then we'll know it was because of that.
Yeah, sure.
I still won't
Which
feel
I-
bad.
You asshole. I would.
It's like the Julian Assange
Shit.
thing and WikiLeaks. I mean, it's so big now, and he came out and he shows his face. And if you're ever gonna murder that guy,
Yeah.
like it's
Somebody was actually meaning what they said. That's new. That's refreshing.
that's crazy.
Is that nuts though? And it only took an airplane ride.
And then they had the hashtag
To where?
"Has Justine landed yet?" Because they couldn't wait to get to her. Holy crap!
Imagine that being your surprise when you land off of a plane.
That's just,
Like a whole
that's
country?
Insane. Yeah, the whole time.
You don't even get off the plane. They come on and get you.
They're already just.
What I do?
You're arrested for tweeting.
Yeah.
They can just put her they can just have the put her right into the Mandela memorial ceremony.
Oh
just
my
roll her right
God.
in there. And then rehire that guy who did the sign language.
So do you think she'll get rehired? I bet you that company will rehire her.
Someone will rehire her. Hush hush. Sometimes
It depends. If she's good at her job, she'll get hired somewhere else.
yeah. What's it?
If she blows at it, they're like, thank God she fouled out. We've been trying to fire her for 10 years.
Here's the
It's like the bank. You can't get fired. Companies can't fire anybody today. This is perfect.
buddy. You're gonna.
I know there's a blackout zone. Who was telling me about that? A blackout period. Did you know about this?
for firings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking.
Was
about
it? Were we talking about that?
Yeah.
There's,
Not in the NFL, there's not.
Yeah, no kidding.
there's a blackout period. What is that?
Yeah, we were talking about someone getting reprimanded, but that's right.
Oh,
At
okay.
dinner the other
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
Nelson and I were out, and they were
right.
talking.
You
about
guys hang out other than this podcast?
Yeah. Fortunately,
We tried to.
Sweet.
we still have things to talk about.
We try not to talk too much, so we have material.
Yeah, that's the thing. We talk less now to save it for the material for the podcast. But someone was talking about a coworker who's been really screwing up their job for the last 8 years, but has the system figured out. So they really want to get rid of her.
Yeah,
And
you can't get rid of anybody.
He's new in the management stream, and he's like, "This is it, man! Like you're just killing resources on her. Let's get this going." And they're like, "Well, then there's always this that comes up, like
Yeah.
reasons why,
Yeah.
because they know she's going to come back with like a lawsuit or something." Well, anyways, supposedly there's these blackout periods around the holidays. You're not going to. I had no idea.
I had no
You've never
idea
seen
either.
anyone canned around Christmas time?
That's why I said the NFL. I see it every year.
the coaches always get shafted on Christmas or what?
Well, I suppose when you make that
By
kind
this
of
time
money,
of
you don't
year,
care.
the season's either you're good or you're
Yeah,
shit.
you're
right?
sticking around.
And they're
or
trying to
you
get rid of you
fired.
before next year comes around. I can name 10 coaches ready to get canned this year.
Oh yeah,
right around the
every year, half the coaches should go.
Oh, my GM's calling me on Christmas. It's probably wish me Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to get a call from your GM ever.
Here's your turkey. It's the last check you're getting.
Oh man,
Yeah, so there is such a thing.
that's nuts.
HR's put these policies in place to have blackout periods, so they don't exactly fire you.
Wow.
The day before you're supposed to pick up.
I
the
just
kids'
like
gifts.
that this chick, back to this thing, is like she actually works in PR.
So she knows, right? You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. I think she thought it. She was like, I'm going to do something, awesome that people are going to find so funny, and then
What did she expect to get? A bunch of LOLs as responses?
That's what I mean.
Like,
She's probably a dummy. Like, what company does she work for? The reason they fired her is how can you hire somebody so dumb?
there was like some comment about how he knows her core values and that she's like a nice person deep down.
Oh
Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. So it's like, I wonder if he's going to hire her back.
Yeah, but what does that matter if you do the opposite of what
I know.
you put on paper?
I know, right?
How many times have I heard actions speak louder than words?
Exactly. Especially since you typed that in for the world to
Fuck
see. Like,
you.
Yeah, exactly. We just had a little bit of an ice storm here locally in the Hamilton,
Isn't that
Toronto
messed
area.
up?
It was just insane because I'm kind of like a sort of rural area where they're starting to build houses. And we lost power through the night and had it by the morning.
Okay.
And then the more populated areas, I start hearing their hydro went out in the middle of the day. And then you start going on the websites and you see, like...
People freaking out.
Yeah,
They can't.
well, number one, they won't be restored until, like, tomorrow at 10 p.m., so they're losing it. And I
I
looked at
saw a riot at Sovies.
Did you?
No.
And I go on Facebook, I go on Fatchbook, and every other status is like, oh my god, the lights are on, oh my god, I
yeah,
can't
but
do this.
then how did they have access to Facebook?
They're probably using their cell
phones.
phones or something.
Oh, the 3G.
Right.
Relax.
Yeah,
Play a game on
exactly.
your phone and
Yeah, exactly.
Have
Meanwhile-
a romantic dinner with your wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the dinner.
Yeah, exactly, right? You're freaking out, you can't turn the light
I
on.
wonder how many kids are going to be born 9 months from
Yeah,
this
no
week.
kidding.
Well, fuck, that would be awesome. That's what I'd be doing.
And do you remember the blackout of 2002, 2003?
Yeah, it was like a couple
That
days.
huge one. Yeah,
Yeah.
It stemmed out was it Ohio way? And then
Something like that.
some guy, I don't know.
What's
what
that
he did.
Enron's doing
I
though?
was at a cake party when that happened. It was awesome. Oh, no lights, shirts off.
But isn't it crazy all the things that you take for granted?
I know.
Like when the power's on, like you walk around the house, you turn switches on, and you know there's no fucking power.
Yeah, I realized
I did that
I'm
a
so
couple
scared of the basement. Oh, I'm not going down there
A
now.
friend of mine texted me at like 9 p.m. saying, have you had power? We haven't had it since 6 a.m. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot.
You know what?
That's a long time.
Some people didn't even lose power, though.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Did you guys lose power in your?
Toronto was bad too, eh?
Well,
My
take a look at this.
parents' house, they didn't lose power.
Toronto, I started
Everybody
making
come over
thousands
there.
in the
I'm
dark
trying
for
to
Christmas.
find-
What? They're not going to get power before Christmas?
It's just insane. And most people put pictures of those ice, like the trees all
The
over,
trees, yeah.
covered in ice, and they're falling
Whatever. It
over.
looks very Christmassy. Enjoy
So
it.
this is
Enjoy
Rob
it.
Ford's moment to be a hero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think's gonna
He
happen?
always gets it on the podcast, eh?
It's funny.
He always gets
We're
a
just
name,
going to change it to the Rob Ford podcast.
he gets a name drop every time.
Limeridge Mall ended up closing
Stay away from that place.
yesterday in the middle of the day. Full power. 2,000 people trying to leave at the same time.
Holy shit! How many
They had power though?
Fender
They had
benders
it,
were
and
there?
then
Then why
in the
did they
middle
shut
of the day, it shut off in the middle of the day.
Oh.
And people were like,
Surprised
no.
people weren't like running into Victoria's Secret, grabbing handfuls of shit and running back.
look like the LA riots. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Just taking a look. It says you're reconnecting Toronto homes. costs $1 million a day. Can you believe that?
To what? To put them back up?
Yeah, it will cost about $1 million a day to reconnect.
Yeah, because they paid this guy that's got to walk up that ladder and staple that wire to that pole.
Like $70
$80,000 a year. Yeah, get out of here. That's why it's costing so much.
$80,000 without overtime.
Yeah, take the stapler and put that to the pole.
Yeah, you know what? They don't want to work. They don't want to fix it now so that they have to work on the double time on Christmas. so that they're freaking.
Oh shit! We got to get out and work tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is pretty bad weather conditions, though. I wouldn't want to be working out there.
The weather's done on purpose. Conspiracy.
Who can trust the weather?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay-Z.
You know those people.
In the Illuminati.
Hydro.
Yeah, like, and then the CEO of Hydro One in Toronto just to try to deflect basically any commentary on it. Is like, we want to worry about getting power up and not worry about the costs. I'm like, get out of here.
Everything's
Just
worried about
insane.
the cost and not about.
Yeah,
nobody cares about anything but cost.
They'll be getting a buyout.
I just thought like $1 million a day. I was pretty alarmed to see that, but
yeah, but how much do they earn a day? Those bastards from all of us.
That's for sure. I mean, we certainly pay.
Good for them.
We pay by the use. Whoever came up with that concept.
We were talking about, speaking of concepts, the whole
We're talking
Christmas
about Christmas.
concept.
Chris and I were
Who's
just
the brilliant asshole that thought of Santa Claus?
Before you get into that, because I have a nice story about that one too. I think we talked about it before, but the whole pay-per cost, whatever.
The what?
This whole pay-per-use.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When I started at the one office we had that I shared with Dave,
Yeah.
for the first 3 months we were not operating, right?
Yeah.
We were doing like painting and renos and operating out of an old office still, right?
Okay.
We got a bill for like $300 per month.
For your
use.
Hydro?
Yeah. And I'm like, where is this coming from? They said they estimated it based on the previous tenants' use. I'm thinking, what were they? What were they running?
Yeah.
Freaking whorehouse or something going 24/7.
How do they even? That's actually brilliant. Because how could you even justify that?
But I was like, but I haven't even been here for fucking 3 months. How are you going to send me a bill for this amount of money?
Did you still pay
That's
it?
a scam. No, I had it reduced. Be like, you come over here.
You gotta complain!
I'm like, you get your freaking jackass over here and read the meter. Don't be estimating. What the hell kind of ripoff is that?
They fired all those guys.
What did they do?
They had the meter guy go over and read what was going on.
Oh shit, sorry, it's half of
hilarious.
that.
Yeah, it ended up being like freaking a third of it. Not even.
Can I say, how about Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Breaking the record?
The
Thank God somebody else did it.
Peyton Manning a couple years ago tossed about 48 touchdowns?
49.
No, 49. He beat Dan Marino's record
Oh,
for
maybe
touchdowns
40.
in the season.
No, it's
Okay.
49. It's 49.
I think it was 49, and then Tom Brady beat that in the Super Bowl, the undefeated year. He had 50, and now Manning yesterday
He broke it again?
51 in 15
with a game
games.
left to go.
There's still one game left to go.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was pretty clear that they were going to go for it, right?
Nice.
But they rubbed the salt in that wound.
So you guys aren't Brady fans? Is what I'm
No, people who say they don't like Tom Brady are retarded because he
is good,
owns
right?
the universe right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody that rags on fucking Peyton Manning because he hasn't won 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
The guy's won the MVP 5 times. He's been to the Super Bowl twice.
Comeback player of the year last year.
He's been on mediocre teams.
Right.
And he goes so far in the playoffs because he's that awesome.
So here's a question: do you have to win a Super Bowl to be considered the greatest player?
Yeah, because there'll be an asterisk beside your name.
Forever.
But what?
No,
If your
no.
rest of your team is shit,
It doesn't matter. Nobody will say that Dan Marino was not one of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
yeah.
But, they always say but, he never won
Didn't
the
win
Super
a
Bowl.
championship.
See, that's
The worst thing is that Peyton Manning has been to 2 Super Bowls, has won one, and they say he might not be the best of all time because he only won one.
Oh,
this ain't
man.
fucking the NBA.
that's fucked up, man.
No, but you know what? I think
It's a team
When
sport,
it comes
though.
to
You're gonna freaking put a
if
star
you're
against
gonna
that guy
encompass all
because the
sports,
GM sucked.
when you're talking about like the greatest players of all time, I think you have to factor in championships because think what you play for. Though.
It's only 4 quarterbacks. Like, if Adrian Peterson never wins a Super Bowl,
Right.
no one is never going to say he's not the best running back
Yeah,
because
that's
of
true.
that.
Yeah,
sure.
It is only for quarterbacks.
But if you are going to be the quarterback of all quarterbacks,
Yeah.
you got to have more than one Super Bowl.
Would you say quarterback is?
Which I think is shit, because I think Peyton Manning's a stud.
Do you think quarterback in American football is the most influential position on any sport, most impactful position. You know, as opposed to like a point guard in basketball or a striker in soccer or a goaltender.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's why football's so different. In hockey, you put Wayne Gretzky on your team, you're going to 4 Stanley Cups. You have Jordan on your team, you're winning 6 championships. You could have named the top 10 football players of all time. Still doesn't guarantee you a Super Bowl.
They're all different.
If you don't have a good team,
right,
it's not going to matter.
Yeah, but it's interesting because...
Which goes back to your point that it's a team sport, but if you're a quarterback... If Peyton Manning wins this year, hands down. You'll never hear another bullshit. Oh, he's not the best, right. And Brady this. And...
Well, just going back to Brady, I think it's not that Brady's not skilled. Okay, he's an incredible talent. Obviously, works hard. He just does things different than Manning, but he gets pretty wicked results. I think when you weigh the championships he has, though, they never talk about the defenses and how good they were when they won those championships.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And it always sounds like Brady did this, Brady led the comeback. Well, you know, someone had to keep the points off the board and put them on the field, too.
Well, when they were playing St. Louis, they were the best offense in the history of the NFL, and that defense slapped them right in the face.
Exactly.
Right? It's not like Brady scored a shit ton of points and they won.
When I looked at when they played the Eagles in the championship, they had something like 2 touchdowns for returns on the defense. The defense was scoring just as much, right?
All I'm saying is I'm glad Manning got that because I don't know about the Super Bowl. At least he got something this year. He'll win the MVP. He'll get the record.
In the 2 championships that he lost since when arguably
his defense wasn't as good.
Exactly, and arguably he was more of a better quarterback and a higher octane offense.
Yeah.
His defense wasn't as good, and they lost in the Super Bowl. So
bring it, you Patriots fans.
And Manning has never had a solid defense, really, ever. I think anywhere he's gone, except when they got hot the one year they won down in Miami, and they beat Chicago.
Yeah,
right. And
that's not a baby crying in the background.
No, we got another guest.
We have another guest, Mason the cat.
That's the one that Neil talks to. He expects him to reply. He's trying to get in on the action.
So, is this the Super Bowl for Manning and the Broncos? Possibly. They got the best record going in right now. They're going to have a week off, which I think hurts them.
Unless San Diego, Miami, and Baltimore lose, then it's the Steelers.
Holy shit.
Here we go.
If that doesn't happen, then it's Steelers.
I'm going to Broncos. Nothing short of the stigmata that happened for them to get in.
Jesus Christ isn't coming down and touch the field. It could happen.
You were talking about Santa Claus.
Yeah, well, I was freaking out because Chris and I tried to do some last minute shopping. I swear to God, it took about 15 minutes to get 2 minutes, what would ordinarily be 2 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't even get to the mall. Like, we were just trying to get into an intersection close by.
So we were like...
And the traffic was bananas.
You know what it's
I was having anxiety in the car. I needed a Quaalude.
You know what's killer? It's like, okay, I'm not going to the mall, so I need to be exempt from this traffic somehow. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You wish, like, somebody would pull your car up and
transport me there.
You're not trying to shop last minute. You should be.
But that's the whole point.
That's the point. Like, I'm not involved in this shopping.
Who brought this, like, Christmas, good times, you get time off work, you're with your family, you're getting bombed every night. Well, at least I am. Like, it's a good time of year. It's this fucking presents bullshit that fucks everyone's life.
And I was just saying, what did I say at the end of it?
Made up,
what did I say at the end of it? It always seems like you're giving more than you're going to get. Right? Because you're going to buy for like 30 people, and what, you're going to get like...
You're going to get the kill. Fuck that.
You know what? If you just bought for yourself, everybody bought for themselves, you get what you want anyways.
Can you explain that, what you said to your sister?
Yeah, because I'm not talking to my sister. I'm like, you're going to give me a $100 gift certificate, I'm going to get you a $100 gift certificate. Like, what's the point? You may as well keep your $100 and do whatever you want.
You know what I do? I drop hints, right, of what I want, and then I wait to see if somebody will buy it for me. And then, like, then I have to wait for after Boxing Day, because I won't go to the mall for Boxing Day, because everybody's...
But you know, wrapped up we're all in.
And now, in the first week of January, I have to wait for something I've been waiting for 3 months already.
Yeah, we could have got it.
Man.
That's what I mean. Can we find out who thought of Santa Claus?
I'm sure Wikipedia knows.
Yeah, I think he's got some kind of commercial hookup.
It started off as religion, and then it turned into
Something
Hallmark.
corporate. Yeah.
Hallmark took it over.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Even though you see a ton of cars at the mall now, isn't it strange when you go in and there's just not that many people? Like, in your mind, you think, like, there's so many more people going to be in there. But it's like, one person, one car ratio. And you go in and it's like, oh, it's kind of... I got room. I got breathing room. It's not North Korea. There's not South Korea around here. Just like a crazy.
But it's the most ridiculous
Tokyo.
story. All of them are ridiculous. The Easter Bunny, the Santa Claus story, like
They're all fake kids. Get over it.
yeah,
It's
Tooth Fairy. They're all ridiculous stories.
It's such a frenzy, man. Like, it's
Well, we were
just
talking
insane.
about that too. Like, I go off for Halloween. Like, every stupid holiday, you're pumping money out.
It's like a
You don't
frenzy
even
to
think
do
twice
something.
about it.
It creates this paranoia that you got to get out there, and because you don't want to be the asshole at the end of the day. You didn't do anything for someone.
We'd all be hermits if we didn't do this shit.
even
Spend more time with your wives, maybe.
with Easter, okay? It's supposed to be about the resurrection of Christ.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. Right.
So let's drop some fucking eggs around and have an Easter egg hunt.
Right.
What does that have anything
We
to
should
do
go
with?
around to all the kids in this neighborhood and be like, what is Christmas about? I guarantee none of them say the birth of Jesus Christ. Guarantee.
Getting gifts.
Still want to say Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus, Rudolph, I want this gift, I want that gift.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it that makes someone super happy when they like Christmas?
I love Christmas.
You
I
know-
love Christmas too.
You do.
But the things I said, the time off, hanging out with friends, family, enjoying it.
Yeah, all that
The
stuff.
other bullshit's chaos.
It's
It
true.
is crazy. I don't know. I've talked about this before. I've had coworkers that had to spend minimum amount of dollars
Oh, yeah, you
on
were
each
saying
kid,
that.
and I think the number was something like $500 each kid, or $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000
See,
each.
And I was
People are
dropping my
fucking
jaw because where I was working,
I
we
spent
didn't
$1,000 total.
We didn't make the kind of money you could just make it rain with, So I'm like, holy crap! What do you?
Maybe his wife makes big bucks.
I'm like, no wonder you're renting and don't have a car, and you take the bus to work from out of
You're
town.
saving up all year for Christmas
and
and
you
blowing
eat,
your wad.
Mr. Noodles at lunch.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. People and their finances. What a mess.
It's just, it shouldn't make us like surprised when you see someone have a meager home and live in a shitty apartment or something. Meanwhile, they got the nicest
The Christmas
shoes.
tree's packed.
You can't fit another
You
box
got
on
gifts
the
everywhere. They got the bling all over the place.
They're the Future Shock commercial. They got 10 kids. They get 10 electronic things. Fuck you, you have
Oh,
that
and when I
money.
watch those commercials, like
Oh, I need to buy things. And they're like, oh, here's a new
it's not Radio
laptop, new
Shack
iPad.
anymore. Yeah,
The Source.
The Source. When they do those commercials, like the person's freaking out, they don't know what to get, so they give them every single high.
Yeah, is
priced
that
item.
the Source or is that Best Buy?
I want.
They're
that
all
to
the
Source.
same.
They had like
Yeah.
thing.
8 people to buy for it. iPad,
Yeah.
computer. Like, well, how much money is this woman
Smartphone.
spend? Yeah.
Like, oh, I
Someone's
big
gonna
screen TV.
Spend 10 grand on
This is
Christmas.
how a lot of Max winners do it.
Yeah, I guess. According to the Source.
I don't think so. I think everybody's doing it.
Made me feel so inadequate.
It's funny when I
I'm getting $25 keg gift cards to people.
are people
You're an
really
asshole.
are people really making the credit burn, like melt their credit cards?
Well, have you heard that the Interact commercial?
100%.
That's pretty funny.
What's that one?
It's I'm your bill. I'm hanging out on your
Oh, yeah,
on your fridge, and I'm on the counter at night.
Got a lingering holiday bill. It's like this big fat guy, like dressed up as a bill. This guy, like, they kick in the door, they're making out with his wife. He throws her on the table. He's gonna sling it to her, and there's this big fat guy.
That's Christmas.
lingering holiday bill. Break the mood.
That's hilarious.
And then it's like use Interact. It's interest free.
Oh,
funny.
so they're pushing pay in cash, basically.
Yeah, well, because
So you
Interact
should
makes $1 every
Right,
time
Go back
you use
to the
it. or
old
whatever.
saying, spend what you have.
Yeah.
You can't pay for it in cash. You can't pay for it.
That's funny.
That's old news. People don't do that
Oh,
anymore.
fuck. People are dumb. There you go.
I'll try to
Get
find
up.
it.
Oh, buddy.
But no, I was just like freaking out. Like the traffic instantly higher, the anxiety instantly higher, people's patience level instantly higher, and we go in the mall, and sometimes there's lineups to go in stores. I've never seen that before.
Really?
I'm like,
Pandora.
People were
like, yeah,
People
what?
were freaking
Let's
out.
go
People are
Yeah.
stupid. I don't even know what that
And
is.
honest to God, I
Just
think
police officers. Police officers are directing traffic in the parking lot.
yeah, and I just couldn't believe it seems like people line up just because other people are lining up.
They're probably thinking, "What's Pandora?"
This store's got to be good. You know what's all a bunch of assholes not knowing when to get their wives. You see a line, like, oh, it's got to be good. It's got to be good.
That guy, I go, maybe he'll tell me what to get.
Is it getting worse, or just because we're the buyers now, not the children, that we like?
That's a good point.
Our parents have always been suffering like this.
That's true. I don't know.
Because like everywhere I turned, there was a lineup to turn into something,
but
it was like like so. Near any of the malls or any of the proximity of a store,
right?
There was a lineup of cars to get in.
Yeah. It's just that everything's busy. Like, and I look at some of the stores. I'm like, what is the use for that? We're like looking at one store. All they sell is hats. Hats. Does every person own 4 or 5 hats a piece? And I'm like, what do I know? Because it's a franchise, and I've seen it in so many malls.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap! The rap revolution just created a fucking single industry on baseball.
How do stores like that make even enough money? That's what I'm.
I want to know.
You think
it's like $6,000 a month.
It's like buy one get 9 free. It's just insane. But
Cinnabon was going nuts.
I went in line a couple weeks ago for Cinnabon, and I don't even like Cinnabon.
You know what the secret to Cinnabon in any bakery? Go at like 10 to 9 at night. They'll be they'll be begging for you to take it.
I know, right?
Cinnabon, they had boxes. I was like,
I wouldn't
either
so much. Giving that to an orphanage, or they're going. People are going off on that shit.
There's so much excess here, and there's so many places that need it. You know, and we're here. We are just like
that's a whole other topic.
We're
living here.
Yeah. So,
but how many hats do you have to sell to make a profit on your freaking rent?
I don't know.
No, guess where that shit's being made?
No,
can I be super insensitive here?
Well, hey,
go for it.
The truth is the truth. Come on,
sweatshop.
Some kid in God knows where is stitching that for 10 cents a fucking out for the day.
Oh, and here's the biggest scam.
And they're going to
I have a T-shirt that says "I'm as happy as the kid that made this shirt."
You're sleazy.
It's from a stand-up comedian.
We passed another store, and I'm like, why the fuck does this even exist? Which one was it? Let's just put it this way. This is a store that would sell movies and CDs and so no names. They sell.
Why we name drop Cinnabon? We can't name drop
Cinema, whatever. You can only afford so many lawsuits.
Cinema One.
Seriously,
downloads YouTube.
And who buys DVDs? Let's say put it that way.
Yeah, but what's his face still exists? H&M is still not H&M.
There you go. Thanks, Nelson.
H&M still exists.
Yeah. Anyway, we passed a store like that, and
it wasn't HMV, but
it was full of people. What were they buying?
It was funny. We walked by, and this guy looks at all these fucking stupid people in there, and he's like, "You know all this shit in here is free, right?" It's on the internet. Like, you pay for free shit.
You never heard of a torrent before?
I don't even know how to use torrents. Seriously, website we buy torrents.
Wow, DVD. Like seriously, YouTube to MP3. That's all you gotta know.
We're literally walking by. This guy stops in his track. These fucking stupid people.
He was just pissed because he waited in line for his parking spot to get in there. Because of all those guys.
We went to the overflow and we still had struggles to get a spot.
Oh my god!
Like, let's go to overflow parking. We'll find a spot. We had to wait while some guy dragged his wife and his kids into the car.
Do you know what's funny? Yesterday, I heard a song that I like from a band that I've seen a couple times live, right? Avenged Sevenfold. And I'm like, oh, I gotta buy this CD. And then I'm thinking, fuck, and then I'm gonna download it export it into iTunes. And then if my computer crashes, I won't have access to that music anymore. You have to buy it to put it in the cloud so that you can access it no matter what computer you're on, right?
Right.
So I'm like, fuck that, I'm just gonna buy it on iTunes.
Oh my gosh.
So only like yesterday I got onto the whole buy from iTunes.
Music?
Yeah.
I download so much music.
I used to like the
I don't pay for shit. I hear something on the radio, I'm like, oh, I like these motherfuckers. Download.
Yeah, I know.
It's just hilarious.
It's on my phone. It's on my laptop. You know what? If I lose all this shit, I'm downloading again.
Yeah, exactly.
My original dream job was in the music industry, so I can't.
Yeah, kinda. Can you sing?
I have to. No.
You said you used to manage.
I used to manage
a job. We talked about this. Maybe you know a little.
Tell me that before.
About it. We talked about this.
Yeah. So I got to be true to the music industry when it comes to that shit. The entertainment. Otherwise, people are going to be downloading this podcast for free, which it is anyway.
I will raise and pillage everything I can for the rest of my
life. Especially in a digital age.
There's a lot of scams you can pull.
But look, even Beyonce shows she can make a ton of cheese.
Yeah.
With no marketing and doing it all digital. right?
I know.
So, I mean, these people going to...
Yeah, after she's retardedly famous.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked for her when she
This will be the truth test.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Free, right?
A bunch of nobodies trying to make a living. That's the true test.
We're just trying to throw a voice out there. But I can't believe, how many stores are in the mall that were like, this is pointless.
I gotta
You
look
can
up
get this for
Pandora.
less. Like,
You could probably download like a mall's like fucking store list and like chuck half of them.
yeah, exactly.
What is this store?
I know.
This sucks.
But I can remember a time where in Canada, we didn't have quite the shopping centers that we do today, obviously. But to me, in my mind, it started when they brought like an Old Navy.
Well, remember
to
you
the
saying
mall.
that fucking when you go to the checkout line, they have that one shelf that's like the
Yeah.
bullshit shelf, like has
Just
all
like
these
little
knickknacks
trinkets,
and
yeah,
Oh,
like
because that's the
phone
last
cases,
the sucker you into buying an extra
Yeah.
$5 worth
You
of
know,
bullshit.
Yeah, and they make a
shelf.
ton of money on that shit
treats,
alone, though.
blankets.
Yeah, so
like,
we're standing in line looking at this shit, and we're like, "Oh, this shit's never been. What's this?" Like, some assholes are buying this
I
crap.
know.
Yeah.
They make a ton of money on that stuff.
That's where they make the biggest margins.
Garbage.
Supermarkets
It's
too.
all garbage.
Well,
Supermarkets too.
when they brought in Old Navy, which was kind of like, which is a
Well,
subsidiary.
we're crossing
of,
a lot of stores off the,
of the list.
Who's gonna
No, actually, this is
advertise
a
on this?
positive thing, anyways. In this sense, Old Navy is part of the Gap and the Banana Republic
Is
family,
it?
right?
Okay.
So Gap, I believe, is the first to come here. They brought Old Navy, which is a variation of Gap clothes, but for a lot more affordable, right?
Yeah.
So they use they maybe mass produce or use cheaper material, etc. I
Kids
found
are
that
so crap.
yeah, but now you didn't have to go exclusively to the department stores or this place.
Yeah.
You could go there and get some decent stuff for less, and then it made everybody else have to compete. So now you got Walmart coming to Canada, Target coming to Canada. Like, I feel like before we had to go to the States to do some more serious shopping.
Yeah.
Right? We used to go with
get more-
Chris. Chris would wear 6 t-shirts home underneath a sweater.
Well, when you go to the States and everybody's like, okay, what's the maximum you can bring over here? Let's get
Yeah.
the receipts together.
Yeah.
I take the receipts off everything. I'm putting it all on.
And wearing it home.
That's
Fuck
it.
you. What'd
Yeah.
you do over here? Here's my Subway receipt. I went for Subway.
I
Come on,
did-
that's $600.
I once, just for the hell of it,
That's what I used to
wore
do.
the most mismatched, ugliest shit I could put together. Like
Throw it up.
moccasin shoes,
Yeah.
windbreaker pants, jean jacket, and a fucking beaver pelt hat. And then I came home dressed to the nines,
Yeah.
nice new suit, brand new tie, nice loafers. You wouldn't even know. You gonna question a guy dressed up with a tie?
Yeah.
I know.
Not
Why are you wearing 3 watches? I like it.
I went in like Davy Crockett. I came back GQ magazine. But you used to do that. Take your old raggedy shoes and leave them in the garbage at the outlets.
Well, and you see around all the garbage cans, all the boxes and
Yeah,
bags
you see shit.
that are left there.
Right.
They don't care at the border anyways.
No, they don't care.
If they were really hurting, if the United States were in a different economic position where they didn't need the dollars coming in,
Oh, they need the dollars.
they need, right? So they're not going to say shit. But now, I guess we're heading back into that territory. But I mean, look at the impact Walmart's had. They're freaking supermarkets now. They have everything.
I was having this conversation with you today. I'm actually afraid of going into Walmart.
Walmart's bad.
I fucking hate Walmart.
And why did Target take so long to get here? Why did they let Walmart have such a lead on it? I don't get
That's a good
that.
question. I don't know. But when they did, they made a big splash. Target opened
They did.
so many stores at once.
Yeah.
Right? And I think they're kind of... I'm not sure how successful that's going. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
I'm not sure. Are they just maybe they just waited for the Walmart backlash to
I think
hit?
they were a little overzealous coming in and trying to do so many.
I think the type of people in the States that go to Walmart, there's not as many as them here.
well,
There's not as
Have you
many.
gone to a Walmart in the States?
I have not.
yeah, they're
I
like-
have never, but even stepping into Walmart here, it's fucked up.
Oh,
And I start to wonder,
in what sense?
how did these people get here in this neighborhood? The public transportation isn't that good in this neighborhood.
Yeah, you
You know
start
what I
seeing
mean?
all the-
It's
yeah.
the cab rides. It has to be.
You mean the people that shop there by need, not by for savings necessarily?
Yeah, I don't know if it's by need or what, but
or
the
people that
that's
snuck
the
out of the
little-
fucking, the home and fucking wander around Walmart. Fuck this place. You know what? I was saying this today. I know something that I need to buy. Like, it's something that I actually need or that I have to get. and everybody like, oh, it'll be cheaper at Walmart. I know it's cheaper at Walmart.
Yeah,
I'll still go somewhere else to get it
Sometimes
because
it's
I
not
don't want to
cheaper
walk through that miserable store.
I
and fucking find
It's
it.
bad though, man.
Am I buying a carrot? Am I buying some shitty clothes? Like, what's
Well,
I
that?
can't believe they have food.
For a period of time there, we did do the groceries there, and I noticed our bills would always be higher, and I'm like, not factoring the fact that we're going to get housewares, we're going to get toiletries, we're going to get shit we don't need, like tons of that stuff. I'm like, look, let's straight go to like a good grocery store, and our bills are like maybe 35% less.
Because you're not spending all the extra shit.
And then I was like, when's the last time we went to Walmart? I said to my wife, and like, shit, we haven't been there in a long time. I'm like, we never needed to go there to begin with. Like,
But that's like Costco.
You can get so much shit there, and then you end up getting all this bullshit that you don't need.
That's like Costco. Since when do you need like a big tub of fucking Nutella that's gonna last for a whole year?
Well, I don't know.
You start using more Nutella.
We
though.
go
That's
through
what
that like
happens.
water.
But you don't need to. You
Yeah.
know that Nutella. You don't
Yeah.
I like the small stores where if I need a sock, I want to go to a sock store.
Yeah, you know what? No, I like that too, actually. I'm like that too. Like,
You like the
Maybe the hat store is brilliant. I want a hat. I go just to the hat store. Get a hat.
I don't get it.
it's
Salad.
almost true, though. I would rather go to the specialty shop because you think you're getting the most selection possible of
For
the
that
sauce.
specific thing that I need.
Yeah. Like, I just went on. This is proof that advertising works, okay? I just went on a windshield.
We're not
wiper-
going to get any because of all the ripping.
Yeah, I know. I just went on a windshield wiper fucking search because my windshield wiper sucked, and I saw a Bosch commercial
Right.
about this new fucking technology that they came out with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's probably bullshit, but these wipers that I just bought aren't even working properly, right?
Yeah.
So I passed by Walmart, and I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'm here. I'll go see, but they don't carry Bosch.
Obviously.
So I know, right? So I ended up going to a part shop.
Yeah.
Right.
To get Bosch, and they had like 3 different kinds, right? So I ended up picking out this one. It wasn't the one in the commercial because apparently it's only available in the States.
Oh, fuck the States.
This other fucking guy is like, no, get these ones, right? They're better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's not what I'm looking for because it didn't explain in my wording what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We asked another guy. He's like, go get those ones for your car, right? Don't I get home? I go to replace the fucking windshield, and the fucking windshield wipers on my car are Bosch.
The ones that you...
The ones that sucked.
Really?
I replaced the ones that sucked with these
How did you not know
fucking
you bought Bosch?
I went to the mechanic. I said, since I'm doing all this other work,
Oh, you didn't actually see what he put on.
put wipers on. But I saw the freaking
That's a
bill.
kick to the sack.
It said Evolution. But the funny thing is, the ones that the kid was suggesting were the ones that were on my car. So luckily I didn't get them.
So you got a different
So these ones are the
version.
same. Yeah.
Same shit.
Exactly. But these ones are fucking working awesome. So you just spent like $100 for the wipers on the same fucking
You know what? I do
time.
that too now. I don't know shit about cars. And every time I got to change fucking windshield wipers, what you think would be an easy man thing to do, I'm out there fiddling with it for fucking half an hour.
Fucking
Like
5
an
minutes.
asshole.
Oh, yeah.
So now if I go get an oil change and they say your wipers need to be changed,
Just
if
do
you're
it.
going to do it, fucking change
No,
them.
That's what
I don't want to touch them.
I went through hell one year.
You want the
Yeah,
convenience.
I know I'm getting nailed, and I'm happy to get nailed.
I went through hell one year with Canadian Tire because they agreed to put them on if you bought them there.
Yeah.
I fucking waited for like an hour for this jackass to get to my car to put on.
Are you serious?
I can't. It's
Because they want you to, you know what the deal is.
Yeah,
they want you
buy
to
other
keep
shit.
shopping.
But
now
now
you buy a toaster and a warm blanket.
I replaced these. It took me 2
another
minutes.
shovel that you don't need.
It took me 2 minutes to do these, thank God, because freaking I know how to do it. I've done it so many times now. But it was just funny as I'm pulling them off. I'm like, fuck, it's the same brand.
That's fucking too funny.
That's hilarious. Oh man,
I can't do shit with cars, man. I'm not a real man. Let's just be honest.
But you got hands
You
on.
play football.
If anything, yeah, I can break your sternum 10 years ago.
There you go.
Fucking, you know, anything happens in the house or... You know, I'm looking in the yellow pages, Googling who the fuck can I call to fix this.
I remember you telling me about all the money you were spending when you bought your house and fucking meat cutter even. You're like, you don't even think of that shit when you first
Oh,
buy
yeah,
your
well, that's a whole other thing. When you move into, you know what it's like when you move into a new house. There's like you think you
There's
got
endless
everything, and
things
then
that
you're
you
making
need,
a
yeah.
salad. Like, oh, how do I peel this fucking carrot? All I got is a knife.
Once you come,
Now you have to go to Walmart to get a fucking carrot.
exactly because where are you gonna
See?
go?
It's a vicious.
Where are you
cycle.
gonna go that has it? That's open like 24 hours
I know.
for the cheapest price. Like how can you beat that?
Oh,
And you put up
miserable
the
existence.
traffic, the long lines. You know, like they put it in the way back of the corner of the store, so you got to pass everything to get there.
Well, I actually went into Walmart. This is up where I live. Where did I go? A couple days ago. Anyways, because I had my family Christmas party. I wanted a fucking Santa toque. Something simple as that. I'm like, what place will have something stupid like that?
Exactly. What do you think now?
So I go to fucking Walmart because I'm like, they gotta have it.
Yeah.
I walk in that store, I'm in the grocery section, I take a left, there's electronics everywhere. I go next, there's fucking all this Christmas wrapping shit. I'm like,
you spent 15 grand.
I'm there for 20 minutes, wandering around this fucking gigantic evil store. They don't even fucking sell them.
But somehow you expect
they don't sell them? No, but I went to a specialty party shop, back to the specific store, and they had like 10 different set of hats.
There you go, that's why you need the store.
And I was like, you know what?
The hat store is a fucking genius. It's true.
Brutal.
That's funny.
Because Walmart wasn't going to carry Bosch fucking wipers. I should have known that.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, they got you hooked. It's like crack in there, man.
I remember when I was back to the whole handyman thing. I remember when I was a kid. Like anything, like the toilet break, the light go out. My dad could fix everything. The car was broken. He'd throw it in the garage, put it up.
Right.
Fix anything.
Right.
I am a miserable man. I can't do fucking anything.
And a little bit of it is things are made today that
You can't fix it.
They're to be replaced.
Yeah. I
Make
still
me
don't know
feel
where my
better,
fucking
thank
battery
you.
is in my car.
Some of them have covers on them, thank God.
Yeah, they do.
Because you can't...
They're not easily
One
accessible.
time I give someone a jump.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice. It's like a decent looking girl. I'm like, I'll try to be a man today. She had jumper cables. Yeah, positive, negative. Well,
There's
a case on your fucking battery. You can't even take it out.
I was out
Fucking
not too
asshole.
long ago when I needed a jump, and I asked the guy, and he had no problems. He was, nice as, he was sweet as sugar. Like, go ahead, do it. But he didn't help me whatsoever. I come to find out, I could tell he had no clue what to do.
Yeah, so I'm like me.
I'm like,
I know it's fucked up. If you do it wrong, though, you could fuck up the battery that you're using for the energy.
well, that's fine.
So if it was me, I'd be like, nah, I'm doing this shit. I ain't gonna fuck up my car. But I don't know where my battery is on my car.
But that's, I guess,
Could be covered though. A lot of them are
No,
covered.
I pulled off every cover. I think it's under the goddamn engine, this fucking thing.
in your car now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I don't ever need a jump. Fuck
Don't
you.
ask me. But I know where my batteries are usually all the time. I had to YouTube it. It said it was in like underneath the passenger, the back seat, which is
So you
not.
don't even go to the manual. You go to the YouTube first.
Yeah, I know, right?
Where. Man, we're
Anyways,
gonna have to
I
look
keep
like,
forgetting to ask my mechanic where
Have
my
you ever
goddamn
pulled out your
computers.
car manual in your life?
No. It's just like when we were talking about, that's the preference. That's what we want. When I opened up this MacBook Air, I didn't open nothing. I turned it on and I could get used to
But
it
that's what
like
you
that.
want. Yeah.
Right? Other brands, I'm like...
No, a PC.
I think we were talking about the BlackBerry versus like Apple products,
Yeah.
right?
I
Like,
never
there's
had
still blinking lights on the BlackBerry. You don't know what they do to this day, right? What's the blue light?
Well, you won't have to worry for much longer after those fourth quarter results. Jesus Christ.
Do you even care anymore?
I don't. I
I
want
don't know.
to.
It's just it's so sunken now, man. Like
I'm tired of having that argument. BlackBerry versus.
Especially around the Christmas holidays, my caring for most shit is low.
You're tapped out of.
Yeah.
Already.
Did you see that Apple commercial? I think it's called Misunderstood. I'll play it for
about
you
the
guys.
kid?
Yeah, the kid.
Yeah, it's a heartwarming bullshit.
It's kind of his family looks at him like he's like this.
I'll say that
he's on his cell phone the whole time, and
Who's that hot chick you keep putting up there on the?
he puts. We'll come back to it. And
George Carlin shit. That's funny when that stuff still.
I'm
comes
gonna
up
play it. It's
today.
called Apple Holiday TV ad, Misunderstood, and it's basically about a kid who's on his phone nonstop with the family during the holidays.
They think he's an asshole.
Yeah, they think he's just texting his girlfriend or something the whole time.
And what is it? You can't get a connection?
You never seen this?
You haven't seen this?
No, I
Okay,
haven't.
watch
Okay,
it.
let's-
I'll give you my take, and then you give me your take.
It's like he looks all bent out of shape because somebody hugged him.
He's 13. He's awkward.
He's in that awkward
Oh, I saw this part.
stage, he's
See,
kind
they're
of with
making
the
a
family,
snowman.
but
He's being a nerd.
This
on his
is
phone.
sad. I just got smoked in the face. That's the best part of the
They're
commercial.
doing the Christmas tree, like, oh, you don't want to be part of the family? See, he's an asshole this whole time.
And they chalk it up to he's the only boy that age, and he's on his own.
And then,
Meanwhile, he was editing some freaking family
then it's
video
weird
or
that
something.
the whole family's in their pajamas.
Oh my god.
Oh, here's a tear jerk. Here's a tear
This
jerk.
is a sad commercial, but not because it's good.
So now we throw some flashbacks of the times that they're having.
The whole time he was on his phone, he was recording.
He's recording.
That's so amazing.
So he's like, a family-orientated nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
These are special
He was
moments.
too cheap to buy a gift, so...
These are amazing moments that were captured. Look at that. Granny's
they're all
crying.
crying.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
He didn't have a job, so he used his
Oh, my
iPhone.
God. Best wedding present or
Christmas present ever. Now everyone in the room's bawling their eyes out.
they all hated him before.
Okay, so is that a nice story? Is Apple brilliant? Because all these fucking saps are going to go out and buy
How many
shit.
views are we up to?
I think
5.6 million, so it's brilliant.
I think there's more
That's
than
my
that.
case.
That's probably just who this one.
It's going so fast, YouTube's behind.
But yeah, that's a good question. Do you think this is going to impact Apple's sales? I don't think so. I think people are going for it anyway.
I agree,
I
but
think-
there's no way they're not have fucking all these nerds in a fucking bunker thinking of shit that they can put on TV that'll promote you to buy more than the one thing you were going to buy.
I'm the biggest Apple
It's brilliant.
fan. Well, maybe not biggest, but I think that it's taken a shit kicking ever since Steve Jobs passed away.
Yeah,
I haven't heard good things about Maverick. I haven't heard... Like, the iOS 7 is so ugly.
But do you think they're posturing so that they come up with a bunch of stuff at once?
I hope.
Or are they, maybe there's some internal debate on what to release next? Or
Wouldn't you rather have that instead of every fucking year, like a slight variation of the same bullshit you bought last year?
You know what I
wait a little bit
Yeah.
and have something actually unique.
I would almost want them to say, you know what? The fucking operating system we have right now works. We're going to wait until we have something gold. We're going to go away. You're not going to hear it from us for 3 years, and then we'll be back. I would rather that.
I'd rather have that.
Like, be bold and say, I'm not going to use your fucking
You can't
iOS.
tell the fucking difference.
Yeah. Like, 7 is ugly. It looks cartoonish. Like, if you can't think of something, just say, you know what? We're so proud of what we released. We're going to let you just stay with that for a bit.
for a while? You think that's what's going on?
Fucking A1. No, I think that they're just trying to stay ahead of the game. But they're releasing shitty products.
Do you guys believe in Santa Claus, or like, what's the deal with that?
My parents always told me, I think we mentioned this before, my parents always told me there was no Santa Claus.
Right from the
From
start?
the start.
Wow.
Fucking cold.
It was them working their asses off to get me the gifts that I'm getting. And
So
I
you were the
respected
asshole
that.
kid in school saying there's no Santa
Fucking
Claus.
A1 I was,
And
but
all
you know
these-
what?
all these kids are ripping on you.
I respected that because I look up to my parents for working hard and giving me the shit that I'm busting their balls for.
What's
Right?
the difference?
Not some fucking fat bastard who's gonna fly around all day and get all the glory.
And I'm the insensitive one.
I love this, the innocence, blah, blah,
So when you
blah.
have kids, you're going to tell them there's no Santa Claus.
I'm going to say, I'm working my ass off for these gifts, and this is what I will do.
Well, what's the difference? if
I'll
you
give
tell
them the
now
big
or
ones.
later?
I'll give them the big ones, like the crazy ass ones
Yeah.
from parents, and then this little shitty ones from Santa. That's what I'm doing.
See, you set yourself up for gold.
Well, here's an interesting thing. That, while Chris brought that up, there's an article here that says basically, is Santa real, and how do you talk to your kids about it? It says here 84% of adults believed in Santa Claus as a child, and 50% of parents today says it plays an important role in the holiday. So it's 50-50, but 84% believed in it growing up. So, wow, that's 15% though. Surprises
That's a
me.
lot.
I bet they're all ethnic. Right? The ones that like didn't, grew up in North America.
How many of those are upset the day they found out he was fake and cried their asses off?
I'm not going to lie. When I was a kid and I found out Santa Claus was... So I was just like, so you lied this whole fucking
Well, that's
time?
the other thing. Like,
I was
yeah.
actually...
That's the emotion you get.
I was
right?
like, what?
Yeah, so then can you trust your parents?
So I was a fucking pawn this whole time?
Like, you're talking to me about not lying and being truthful and honesty and all this shit, and then you've been lying to me for 8 years.
All the years that you believed in Santa, and then the disappointment that he wasn't... Like, would you still want to go through that, even though you know you're going to get shit rocked when you're 8? And they tell you, look...
It's a bribery. It's an incentive system, and I don't think there's anything wrong
See,
with it.
that's where it comes in. Because if you are good for your parents, you're not going to be good. Fuck you, mom, dad. I'll smash your shit all over your house.
Yeah.
But if you don't be good, Santa's giving you fuck all.
So it's a cop-out.
Yeah.
It's a parental benefit to beat
It's
your
a
kids.
desire to have your kids, be...
Not
So that's the day that your whole world comes crashing down on you, though, because then you start questioning the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. Like,
Yeah.
how much of my life is fake?
Your life's fake now. What are you talking about?
But we're in the Matrix. I don't know. The sooner you get to accept it, the more bliss the life is.
I'm happy my parents always were truthful with me.
I think that's pretty interesting. And you know what? That's good.
So I can see when I have kids, like Sandra's all into the whole innocence thing. So I'm going to be like fighting with her over whether to tell the kids the truth.
You guys better sort that shit out before you...
I know, right?
But what's wrong with it using it as an incentive for the kids to be
Nothing.
Good? I don't think there's anything wrong.
You know what's funny is if you have a lot of kids, like 3 kids, like, well, you know, I'm the oldest of 3.
Oh,
yeah.
And when
you know, I found out whatever.
So
did you tell your sister?
I remember I was like 8, and I'm like, you know, your parents like, don't fucking tell your brother and sister or you're dead. Meanwhile, like, I'm rolling my eyes the whole time we're talking about, fuck, you guys are losers. And I remember I told my brother, and we actually kept it from my sister for a whole year, and then we spilled the beans too. Like,
oh wow, 1 year.
You ruined it for the younger kids when you tell the older kid.
So
it comes out to this: do you want your older kid to be, 15, still believing in Santa Claus?
Because you gotta
loser, or
you gotta wait till the youngest one and then tell everybody at once.
What's the age do you think that the kid you could break the news to him? I think I found out when I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, I think 10's a good number.
And I found the gifts that were... My mom actually went to go visit the Philippines, and we stayed like with my dad. Like he stayed at home with my dad. I believe my grandfather might have passed away. So she went...
So you're snooping.
Well, I was snooping. She had already packaged, like, gift wrapped the Santa gifts. And she calls to talk to us. Like, I'm like, what's this from Santa stuff? Like, it was like weeks before Christmas, right? That was it. I knew. So it was more devastated about, why didn't you tell me? Like, what's this?
I remember one Christmas, my mom cleaned the offices, right?
Yeah.
And somebody in the office stole something from one of the ladies that worked in the office, right?
Yeah.
Some radio or something went missing, okay? So police came over to our house. It was like days before Christmas. All this shit was wrapped under the tree, right?
Yeah.
And my parents was like, we didn't take it, we got nothing to hide. I'll open up all these gifts right here in front of all these kids. If you want to see that there's no fucking radio in these boxes, right?
No way.
And the cops were like, no, it's okay. We don't need to ruin your Christmas for the kids. Right? And they totally laughed, and I was like, right, that's it.
Yeah, your dad fucking went up the cops.
That's a champ. And I'll tell you, there was no radio in those boxes. so
that's what got stolen.
My dad was like, yeah, somebody stole the radio from some woman in the office.
Oh, God.
But it was so funny how my dad was like, you want me to fucking open up all this shit right now? I'll do it.
That's fucking... You gotta know how to hit the sore points.
Your dad's a badass, eh? There's no Santa Claus.
What the hell's this about? Tony Romo out for the rest of the season? Did he get hurt?
No, there's no
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news, sports news.
He's been playing this year? He fucking blurred.
Well, it's funny. He's lost about 5 or 6 games this year, threw him away.
This would be awesome.
In this last game, he came back in off of like a...
Oh, he hurt his knee
deficit
in that game.
You know when my computer does the Zoom thing, I don't know how to bring it back.
Oh, his back injury? What a pussy.
Neil uses the Zoom option all the time on the computer. I don't know how to get it back when mine does it by accident.
Oh, man. So Kyle Orton is going to lead them into the playoffs if they win.
They're not making the... That's awesome. Tony Romo... I hate the Cowboys organization. If there's any Cowboy listeners out there, fuck you. I've never heard of a team talk so much shit in my life. The media is like... We were talking about this the other day. Was it you or was it...
They made that fake reality show, too. About
no, but everybody's like, oh, this is the best team on paper. They have so much talent. They fucking suck on paper, and they fucking suck in real life.
Did they ever play that guy that they scouted from that TV show that they faked? You guys remember that?
TV show?
There's some reality show where they had a bunch of guys that almost made it into the NFL.
What's that? Big break? NFL Big Break?
Something like that.
Oh, no, I think Michael Irvin hosted a camp and with Dion or something. And then, they try out a couple guys. And no, those guys are not going to make it.
I remember the one guy they actually put on...
No one off the street is going to make the NFL. Okay.
It was a TV show.
I think that's the one, right? The
one guy plays in the CFL now, and he rides the bench, apparently.
Yo, click on this Romo shit. What he actually hurt his back? Like,
it was his back.
Fucking loser.
But
take a little back to set and shut up.
How many people, like, when you develop a favorite team, what's your favorite soccer team? Let me ask you this, and then I'll ask
obviously
what
I'm
really trying to get to.
Well, I mostly follow the national stuff, so I would say Portugal. But if you're going to go league...
Yeah, you have to pick league play, league team.
I like Man U quite a bit, actually.
And why do you like Man U? You have no attachment to the country, you have no attachment to the city.
I like English Premier Soccer. It's because it's very competitive. All of the teams are high level. So you get like good soccer no matter who you're watching.
Where are you going with this shit?
Well, I want to know how you create that sentimental side.
Well, because then here's the other thing.
Because some people, you're going to go by demographics.
Some people follow the player, right?
I just want to know why.
Because, like, to me...
Hold on, sorry. I want to know why there's fans all across the country that like the Cowboys. Right? When they're not even from Dallas. Like, there's...
But it's because the Cowboys make the best...
Marketing!
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it.
You're fucking...
They're the most...
They've got the TV shows
they're
on
the highest
Cowboys,
value team in all of the NFL.
And they blow.
And, like, is it because of a following that stems from...
I don't know,
like,
Steeler Nation's pretty fucking huge.
But Steelers... We talked about this. The Steeler Nation started in Pittsburgh, and many people have moved from Pittsburgh to other parts of the country because of the steel trade. They moved to Denver, they moved to North Carolina, like whatever. They moved across the country. So it's not just people following the team when they play there. They actually used to be from Pittsburgh. But you get a lot of people around the country like loving Dallas. You got a lot of...
I'll tell you right now. Because back in the day, think what teams had the biggest fan bases.
One of the ones that had the history.
One of the two are the Steelers and the Cowboys.
Right.
Who was winning all the Super Bowls back in the 70s?
In the 70s, yeah.
Well, so
like
history. Our parents, let's say,
exactly.
love those teams. You have kids.
So that's the premise of how you pick your favorite team because your parents like them?
Probably. Because they got all those
100%.
memories of
See,
growing
I
up
want to
watching with
understand
your
this
dad.
because I never pick a favorite team. I can't stand it.
So do you follow a
He's
player?
a Steeler fan by fucking force.
By default.
Yeah. Do you
fucking kill
track
me.
the players then? Because like I know there's a lot of non-Portuguese players that love fans that love Ronaldo, right? Because of his skill.
Right.
So to me, you would follow then the player.
No, see, people that like the NFL, this is going to be a really broad fucking statement, but if you like I love Peyton Manning.
Okay.
But I'm not a Broncos fan.
So
I was never a Colts fan.
So are you one now this year because he's playing?
No. So if the Steelers don't make the playoffs in a miracle this year, then I would like to see Peyton Manning win the Super Bowl. But I'll watch any NFL game because I just love football.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I played fantasy football since 2004. Like almost 10 years, let's say.
Okay.
And in that, you have no allegiance to one particular team. You can pick your favorite guy from your favorite team.
Yeah.
But the goal is to assemble an all-star team that gets the most points.
Right.
So it made me actually watch everything going on. And I learned more about football that way than if I just followed one fucking team that loses every year, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and had an allegiance. Because when it comes to that, I just can't stand.
But that's the reason why I couldn't play fantasy football.
But you wouldn't be able to. What? Because
I pick fucking my fantasy team.
Right.
I'd be watching the Steeler game, and this asshole that's on my team, I'm like, I kind of want someone to break his fucking neck, but I need him to score 2 touchdowns so I win the fantasy game. And I'm like, it's hurting my soul. I had to, like, I can't play fantasy.
That's
You're battling yourself.
Yeah.
Watching
I'm a very loyal human being.
Yeah, New Age fan versus like
I'm old school. Fuck
I'm
you guys.
wishy-washy. No, I'm not. I don't care. I'll take one guy on every good team.
Ask this guy who's his favorite NFL team.
Well, I'll tell you, February 3rd, I'll tell you. The day after the Super Bowl.
You'll have a sweater the next day. You'll wear that till training camp opens next year. Then it disappears.
And then when the team's winning during the year got the most wins, then I'll be on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
But as far as the Cowboys, I think they just did the best marketing too. Because they got, what do they call them? The Cowgirls? What are they? Those
Dallas Cowgirls, yeah. They got the most popular cheerleading.
Yeah, so there's that. There's a TV show on right now.
Back in the day, and they just
but he's got money to burn. He's got like recliners in his freaking stadium, apparently. Like
when I meet somebody from around here and says they like the Cowboys,
that's what I don't get.
I automatically assume you don't know fucking anything.
Yeah, it's just your default, right?
Yeah.
It's like
that's the default.
Ask a random human being who doesn't know shit about football. Name 2 NFL teams. Guarantee one of them are the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So
they can't think of anything else. So you're a drone. Beat it.
A lot of people
I agree with that.
They pick the sentimental pick. You know, my dad liked them. My mom.
See,
my brother.
If someone said I like the Cowboys, and I was like, why? My dad liked them.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. When they don't have any answer other than That's the one NFL team I can think of.
I have a...
Get the fuck? It's like asking me a soccer question. I'll just tell you to your face, I don't know shit.
Yeah, but at least you're being honest. Dave always has a default thing when people say, this is my favorite team. He says, name 5 players on that team. If you can't name 5 players on that team, you're just picking
it's soccer. How are you going to know 5? There's no 5 guys worth knowing.
You jerk off.
You jump
any sport.
How many stars are there in soccer, frankly?
There's tons.
There's
on the same team?
Okay, here's my other point then. On the same team.
On the same team.
On the same team, yeah, but it's a lot more split up that way. You don't get as
well,
much.
yeah, because it's like basketball.
That's why I was saying
English can have one guy carry the whole thing.
Yeah, but football, there's like 50.
How many of those popular players are defenders versus offensive scorers? The most stars are scorers, aren't they?
No, I would say midfielder and maybe striker, but midfielders are generally the biggest names.
Who are the guys who score the goals?
Yeah, but I don't like defense. I remember like just defense and soccer. They're nobodies.
You did say...
I wouldn't say they're nobodies, but they're not as known by the general population. Like, Beckham is probably the biggest star in soccer only because of marketing. Because he married a fucking Spice Girl.
And he stuck it in the fucking net.
And he's got
well, arguably, who are the other biggest stars? Maradona, Pelé...
Yeah.
Okay, Ronaldo,
yeah.
Ronaldinho. They're all goal scorers. You did say before,
but they're all midfielders. You just named off, pretty much.
The technicality of where they stand on the field. I'm just saying they're more offensive players than defensive.
Oh yeah,
correct?
For sure.
But you
traditionally the most popular.
You did say previously too that soccer's part of the attraction has to be the skill of moving the ball.
Yeah,
but you can't deny that people love to see scoring in soccer. Because
what else are you going to see?
But that's in any sport, though.
But you say that in North America, the focus is on scoring way too much. It's got to be in soccer as well.
No, if you watch a football game that was like a 9-6 score, and the general person would be like, that was a boring football game, but it was 2 fucking badass defenses kicking the shit out of each other, that's an entertaining fucking game.
But I don't find you say that in soccer, though.
No, that's what I mean. That's why.
But you guys aren't soccer fans, though.
And that's why I'm asking him as questions.
But that's like a UFC fight that goes the distance. You know what I mean? There's good fights that go the distance.
But you're still going to be looking for striking, though.
I've seen a kick-ass 0-0 soccer game, and I've seen a boring-ass motherfucking 0-0
What made that?
I could not understand that at all.
Yeah, but...
There was so much back and forth, so much plays. The passing was awesome. Like, the interplay between the players was good, you know what I mean?
So that...
There's a lot, too. It's more of a chess game.
Miserable.
If I could appreciate that, I think I'd understand and watch soccer more.
And that's what most people go for. Like, I mean, people will say, "Oh, it's only 1-0," right? But that one goal was like phenomenal. Like if Buddy scored like a cracker from outside the box, hit the top corner, everyone goes nuts over that goal.
Well, there's nothing to cheer about.
That's all you need.
See, in football, every drive you can say it was an awesome play by somebody on the field. Like, it's just more action.
I don't buy that.
More people.
I don't buy into that at all. Actually,
I guess we can't put the soccer goggles on, and you can't put the football goggles on.
Oh fuck! They're not even the same.
It's like guy runs 2 yards.
How did you shit pumped?
Jesus Christ!
How did you come to like Man U then?
It started off with Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. But they have a good team. Like they've got Nani on the team as well. What's the other fucker? The English little fucking guy, Leprechaun.
You can't even name 5.
You wasn't even up 2.
You guys got me on the freaking spot.
What were you 2?
No, honestly, I haven't tracked it. I've been watching for a while. Because I used to watch it on Saturday morning. I haven't anymore.
Sure.
So I basically watched the Portugal game.
I think you end up picking your team basically, like Chris says, based on tradition of winning, right?
If you have a kid, and when he's 2, you put a fucking Minnesota Vikings jersey on, and tell him the Vikings are the best team on the planet. That kid is going to love the Vikings.
Yeah, sure, because they have that attachment.
You can fuck your kids, or you can.
You can screw them up.
Think how many Maple Leaf fans there are.
Well, that's what I did today. Chris and I go into this incredible sports store here in Hamilton on the mountain, close to Lime Ridge Mall.
Okay.
And they have
memorabilia
every knick-knack that you can. Like, Champ Sports got nothing on this, but Foot Locker, they got nothing on this. There were pencils.
Name anything.
But was it all in balls? Was it
no,
like
golf
team
towels,
No,
umbrellas.
every team.
Really?
Like, they had replica championship
football,
banners.
Fucking,
Oh, they had tons of soccer.
Tons of shit.
Keychains.
what's the story? I want to know.
What was it?
I can't remember what
Can't
it's
even
called.
tell you.
Oh, look
Well,
at you guys.
It's so weird, fucked up.
This fucking store blew you guys away so much that you don't remember.
Something collectible. So it's like a weird
XB
fucked up
collectible,
name. Yeah,
something like that.
It's
Oh,
weird.
shit. Okay, bad.
But I walked in there and I was like, if you're like,
For the ultimate sports fan or the wife
Yeah.
who wants to get...
I don't want none of that
something.
shit. I don't wear anything. I don't have anything Steelers other
They
than
had stuff for babies, kids, girls, all teams. Tons of variety, all jerseys.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you could find anything in there that you liked, and then they had like 500 options of teams, like of all
that's
sports,
cool.
of anything.
So here's the thing: I'm stuck to get my nephew something, and I know my I call him my nephew. It's my cousin's kid, and I know her husband loves the Maple Leafs, so I got him like a Toronto Maple Leafs little jumper. And then now you know Daddy's gonna be happy, and
I was like, you're ruining the kid's
But
life.
meanwhile, like, okay, I want to bring this up. Did I talk to you about this? No, it might have been a conversation with another guy. We were talking about the amount of dollars generated by sports teams, and I said I have this theory about the Maple Leafs that they're the highest grossing NHL team.
They carry
Hands
the
down,
NHL.
right? They make more than probably the other teams combined. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're number one though.
They
aren't they?
carry more than half the league.
I argue championships cost money. And when you create success, it costs you more money, and the fans, there's an expectation that's created. So you have to fuel that every year, or you get the money that cash cow's gone. So to repeat and to be competitive year after year after year after year is only going to cost your franchise more money. I feel like the Leafs,
They purposely suck?
they know how much they make. They know the point of no return, and where whatever they're dishing out is not going to get them more. So they keep the team at that mediocre competitive level, kind of brushing into the playoffs. Like every time they bring a guy
give
in,
you a boner for
like they give your dick hard. Like, oh, we're going to bring Lindros, or we're going to talk about Gretzky coming in, or we're going to keep what's that Swedish guy that they had for years? Sandin. Like, okay, top 5 scorer, top 7.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? That's not putting you in the cup, right? Like,
Well, the funny thing,
they always bring these guys that were like.
Rutherford made it in again in
They
the
were,
past.
but they were always past their prime. They maybe had a little bit left. They were going to play 20 years.
I honestly think that's because MLSE doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
I think they're fucking brilliant.
You
They
think
know what
they're doing that shit on purpose?
and they know what makes the money. No, because it costs money to. You know who admits
Here it
to
is
this?
with hockey right now.
And hold on, let me finish. You know who admit to this? The owners of the St. Louis Rams. They won 2 championships in a row. Remember the second one they won against the Titans, and
they
then the
lost
second
to
one they lost to the Patriots. Their owner basically said, "I'm fucking the hell with this, man. 3rd year, I'm not putting up fucking Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. I don't need these fucking guys. This is going to cost me money, right? We made the money, and now if I keep them competitive, I'm going to go broke."
Yeah.
So they're like the hell, and they sold them, and that was it. I think they moved them, and then they had to come back.
I don't know, because in the NHL, the last 5 Stanley Cup winners have been
Boston.
there's no
Chicago
parity. It's been the
twice.
same fucking 5 teams at the end of it. So when there's 4 teams left or 6 teams left in the playoffs, these are the last 5 Stanley Cup champions.
Mm-hmm.
So the same fucking teams do it over and over again. The rest of the league is shit. So that's what I mean. How are those teams doing it year after year after year? Yet the Leafs decided that they just want to.
I think
average.
the guys, if you think of the NFL, so now this is
But it's like the NFL. Every year it's fucking different.
The guys that want to win, that always put field competitive teams, are fucking crazy owners. Jerry Jones, he pumps tons of money.
Yeah.
Robert
Are
Kraft,
they competitive? They're like
tons
the
of money.
Leafs. They fucking blow every year.
But they're always in the playoff question.
Yeah,
Right?
fuck you.
What other teams in the NHL make money? Do the Chicago Blackhawks make dough? Do the Boston?
No,
Bruins
something
make
like
dough?
20 of the 30 are profitable.
Well, the lower 10 are fucking bullshit anyway.
Yeah, like Phoenix.
Who's watching teams in Columbus, Phoenix,
Nashville.
the Wild? Yeah, are you crazy? They're just pushing that button way too much.
And they want to expand.
Still, they want to
NHL
add
wants to
more.
expand by 2 or 3 teams.
Where more south?
Obviously in the States.
That's a fucking incredible. And it just kills me how they take the franchise out of Winnipeg and bring it back finally. Quebec City, like, why not leave them? There could be a good following out east, right? Just leave it up here, right?
I don't know. I think the NHL bullshit, anyways.
I don't get
This is like anything other than football.
No, but if you watch week 1 of the NFL and you watch a fucking playoff game, you cannot tell the difference between those two fucking games. Those guys
they're
are
fighting for their lives. Yeah.
When you go 0-2 in the NFL, your season is a must-win.
That's because there's only 17 games.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the point. That's the whole point.
They play for a month, and then the season's over.
Way too many games. Way too many
The
games.
first 30 games in NFL.
What about baseball? They play like 300 games.
Oh, that's worse.
Same thing. The first 30 games of all those
It's like we can still make the playoffs. We're fucking...
They're beating your dicks. They're not doing anything. People are like, oh, NHL, the playoffs is so much better. No shit, they're actually playing hard now. I don't want to watch regular season NHL games. They fucking are dicking around.
I agree with that. I mean, it's too much.
I would like to see a one-game duel.
That's why soccer's good, because every game is a fucking playoff game. You got to win the league. You're done. There's no playoff.
Well, I'd like to
Every
see a
game's
playoff
boring
in
as shit.
soccer.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference between the first game and the championship, but both sucked.
But it's still the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, because anybody outside of Canada States can't play a real sport. They're all little.
Dana White says that UFC will be the biggest sport one day. Do you agree?
He has to say that.
He's an idiot.
I think fighting in
It'll never be the
some
biggest.
capacity is always gets
The
sport.
UFC will die at some point, and something else will come along.
Well, it might be starting now.
I know,
Dana White
White's fault.
he's going crazy now.
No, but do you like? I don't know. I'm not huge in the UFC, but I just feel.
It's not football.
No, but from a guy that's kind of got into it a little bit, like a couple years ago, it just seemed bigger.
Yeah, I agree.
That's because
It's more
there's so
exciting.
many.
Better,
well,
like I knew fighters' names. I knew which was like a decent event.
That's because
what
there was
a huge
one.
event.
There was like one every 3 months. Now there's one every other week. It seems. Sure,
Now I'm
that's
just
why.
like I see on average. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys?
It's because there's too many events.
I don't
That's
care
why.
anymore.
They're pumping too many
So they're
fighters.
having to add more stable of fighters, right? And
But that's the problem I have with
They have
boxing.
to have that many events because
No, boxing was like, you had 5 big names, and you'd have some decent fights throughout the year, and then when those...
the undercards were always garbage. Though.
Yeah, but the main events were, like, you'd go lose your mind to watch those.
Yeah.
Now, it's like,
Right.
who knows anything about boxing? It's all, everybody blows.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
other than,
You can't
couple of
saturate a
names.
sport, and that's why the NFL is what the NFL is.
I think it has to be the
You
model.
You add the
has to be the
NHL,
model
Major League
league
Baseball, NBA, you add all those leagues together, they're still not making what the NFL makes.
But the problem is you can't change any other sport the way it's played because you'll lose the existing. At
Well,
the
they're
risk of
fucked
trying
now.
to get more.
But the
right?
UFC had a they were new. They could have left it the way it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you had it by the balls, and then you oversaturated, and now people just don't give a fuck.
Well, when he reached the height,
Maybe that's like I'm over.
No, I'm because I'm.
But I
I'm
feel
not
like
as-
it's slipping. Is it not
it-
slipping?
I think
yeah,
so.
I think when it reached the height of its popularity, let's say when GSP was fighting, his first couple of title defenses, it was felt like a frenzy
Yeah.
of highs, and then you might bring in.
Now I only get that for select fighters, not every event.
Yeah, exactly. Which
What
probably
happened to that guy?
You know what? That's what
GSP.
you're right. That's
Yeah.
what it was before.
He's got like personal issues.
You get super excited
think he
every
should
couple
retire.
months, and then now you're
Tired
kind of like,
champ.
nothing in between.
Well, because Dana White went after boxing, so he would put on a free event every time boxing was going on, right?
Oh, okay.
And then Strikeforce, every time Strikeforce had an event, he went after them, right? And then he ended up buying them.
So they watered down the.
And then there was Pride FC. Then he bought them. So he just went after everybody. Now it's like fucking Microsoft.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is way too much.
So one guy's controlling the whole freaking thing. So you used to have these awesome fight events going on with different companies, and you're like, oh, I wish this guy would fight this guy, right? But now that they're combined
Yeah.
and they're all washed up now, you're like, it's too fucking late to watch these two guys play. Who cares? And then there's so many events and there's so many fighters, you can't keep track of all the fighters. It's impossible. So when you're reading the fight card, you're like, I don't even know who any of these people are.
Well, that's how I feel. Every time I see their average, who the fuck are these guys? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
watch this.
And then there's so
You guys
many.
will fight.
There's so many that there might be a guy that was like a fucking amazing fight that you forgot because there's so many names.
Right.
And then it's like, oh shit, that guy's an awesome fighter that I didn't even know I should have been paying attention to. So here's since we're on the UFC, with this big argument we got into, it wasn't serious, but okay, Ronda Rousey's fighting, right?
Yeah, Misha Tate.
And Misha Tate. So if you were to fight Ronda Rousey, do you think you could take her?
As a guy?
That's the question.
No.
You!
No.
As a guy.
Well,
She's a professional.
I was talking about this with a couple guys last night, actually.
She's a pro.
Could you ever date those chicks?
Well, I would be afraid of them.
That's what I mean. You couldn't say shit. Like, maybe she pissed you off. She was being bitchy or something. You couldn't actually say, I have a beef
So
with
it's
her.
funny because there was a friend of mine went on a blind date with some guy. A friend of mine went on a blind date with some guy. And she walked out on him because he said that he could kick any professional female fighter's ass without training or nothing. She was so pissed off that she walked out on this guy.
That's what her walking away. Because those girls would fucking shit rock this guy. I don't even know who he is. If you brought one of those fighters here, and the three of us tried to jump her, all three of us would lose our jobs. Yeah, no kidding. We'd be like the Bengals. Are you crazy?
That's what I think too.
You think you could go fucking...
They're professional shit
carry the football in the NFL.
I could have put your fucking cat out if I wanted to.
Oh, buddy, your ACL will be out the stadium.
You know what? Just in conditioning alone, you would be done after.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I
don't know. I'm pretty top notch.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, but have you ever done jiu-jitsu?
No, I don't do that pussy shit.
If you roll with another guy for a minute, you're fucking. It feels like
you're drenched.
You feel like you ran a marathon.
Sure.
After a minute, and these guys go for 5 minutes around, right? And it's like,
but it's just the connecting alone. I could probably give her one right to the jaw, and she's gonna look at me and dislocate mine.
But okay, so that's
how many punches to the face have you taken in your life? Like straight on, someone got you.
Straight on, probably just one my whole life.
She's taken a bazillion.
She trains for it all the time.
How many guys have you punched in the face as hard as you could?
Only with gloves on, but never.
She does it all the time.
Yeah, that's why I don't get these guys that say, never mind fighting a woman. Why would you even have that conversation? But
no, I'm talking professional.
I know, like as a joke, but
sanctioned.
I talk to guys that are like bouncers at clubs, and they're like, "Dude, I could take these UFC guys." I'm like, "No, you fuck.
Yeah, but look who you're talking to.
I know.
Meathead.
But then there's other guys who are semi-athletic that say, "Yeah, I could fight."
Well, the funny thing was,
yeah, but that's like when you watch
what you do
when you're watching the NFL. And you're like, I could fucking make that catch. I would have made that tackle.
So it was funny because
we were.
That's
why you're on the couch watching.
It was funny. So it was funny because there was two of us. It was two of us against the one opinion, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So there were three of us in total.
So somebody was saying they could take the girl.
Right.
I want to hear this person's side.
And both of us were saying, there's no way, right?
Right.
And then the other guy, near the end of the night, says, oh, she would have difficulty with me because I train more. And I'm like, you
train more than Ronda Rousey?
No, he trains more than the other guy. And I'm like, you fucking hypocrite. You just been bashing this guy all night, and now you're thinking you have a shot? You don't have a shot. There's no way.
Unless you're training like her?
That's what I think. So,
you're not training shit.
So the one guy's opinion was like,
both these guys
I must think I'm a pussy myself because I can't take this girl. Like, no, I have no chance against this girl.
That wasn't a conversation about
there's nothing.
Fighting a chick. That was a dick measure. Yeah. That's what it was.
No.
And the guy said he couldn't beat the chick at
he's clearly had the smallest dick.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that? Hypothetical.
I don't even know how it came up.
I kind of like that as a question.
I don't even remember how it came up, but... So I went as far as saying I think Ronda could beat some guys in the UFC.
Yeah, I can see that. I
don't know. That'd be
some of the littler guys.
It's
the 135ers, maybe.
I think once you get
just a guy that trained on the same level, you're just going to be naturally stronger than a woman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So like maybe if she connects, maybe she knocks a guy out.
There's got to be
if they went on the ground though, she's getting overpowered.
Well, the ground is a little bit more equalizing as far as weight and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Isn't that where she's strongest, really? On the takedowns and then getting on the ground?
Well, she's
to other women, though. You're telling me a UFC guy couldn't...
I think I don't know.
What if he's the size weight? What if he's the same weight?
That's what I'm saying. So there's got to be a tipping point.
Weight.
So here's a question. So you got to...
Who knows?
So what if you have like a 250-pound guy with no training going against her?
No, he's still losing. He's not a trained professional.
There's got to be a tipping point at some point, though.
It's probably the same thing. If this big motherfucker actually has a fist, like my brother.
He's got to connect, though.
Yeah. If Adam connects with her,
yeah,
she's done.
Yeah, he's a tough.
But the whole point, though, is he's
got to connect. Yeah,
And that's my point.
He's gonna miss
That's my
every
point.
swing he takes.
That's my point.
She's gonna eventually get him to the ground, tire him open, elbow him to the face.
Yeah, that's my point.
And it'll be
too.
over.
But
Exactly.
usually guys
That's how I
with that kind of strategy are kind of like, this is, it's a swing and a hit.
That's why they fight
mentality.
in weight classes, so that shit.
It's such a low percentage.
But there's so many more tools that she has in her arsenal than a guy who doesn't train. You know what I mean? She
How
has.
did we get on this conversation?
We're talking about UFC, and I wanted to know what is this conversation.
Ronda Rousey versus a guy. Like, is that how bad the female talent is? That we're considering what she would do against guys?
No, that's another good point. In a whole UFC, there's a ton of dudes that are tough. How many tough chicks are there?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how many girls are really going to stand up to her?
Frankly,
Like, she
Ronda
beats
Rousey's-
the top 4 chicks, let's say.
She beats them all in armbar first round.
her entire existence, her whole life, has been premised around the whole judo and arm bars. Like, her mom is a champion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she's been trained since a little girl. She trained for the Olympics. She never really had a career-type job.
No.
All these other girls, for the most part, this is like... maybe started as recreation, or they really got into it. They dabbled in it here. Her whole life is so you can see it's pretty clear. Like, her expertise is so much way more than others because she just puts more time into it. And when you talk about a guy off the street, I don't care if he's 6'7", 350 or 5'4", 135.
And you could even go further.
He's not training the same way she does, so
No.
he's still going to get pumped.
And it doesn't even have to be Ronda specifically. Any woman that trains seriously, you know what I mean?
All I gotta say is I wouldn't want to step in the ring with her.
She's a professional.
I think we should make a reality show out of this and just let fucking guys go at her.
It's
and
funny
watch her
that you
kick
say
the
that.
shit
There
out
was
of
a
her.
guy
You
going
probably
around.
could
I
do
heard
that,
about.
eh? That'd be awesome.
There was a fucked up guy going around interviewing guys in the UFC, like saying, "I can take your punch, I can do this." This one guy asked Ronda, he's like, "I think I can take you."
Oh, yeah, so
whatever.
yeah.
And she goes, "Would you let me?" And she goes, "Oh, you already said all the right things, pal." And she put her whole body into a body sweep and crushed the dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he came in the full gi and everything, ready to rock, and she pounded him. Right? So, I mean, you gotta... I think when you watch... like,
Good thing for your friend walking out on that day, because that guy was probably a dickhead.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah, like, what kind of person thinks that?
That's for the next topic.
Never mind,
Bring that guy on the show.
Never mind fighting.
I don't know who he is. It was a blind
What's his
date.
whole mentality on women as human beings, right? He's
I know,
I can
right?
take her?
Yeah.
What? Well, good for her for walking away.
Yeah, it was pretty
Holy
funny.
crap.
She told me, I'm like, holy shit.
She hot and single?
Because
This guy is...
I don't even.
Chris is available. It's funny. This has become a little bit of a... what do you call it? Life match podcast here. But, okay, let's talk about that. When you you haven't exactly gotten married, you're not dating anyone.
Oh, we're talking about me now.
Just single people in general.
Jumped in the waters of water.
No, single people in general.
Okay.
As you start to get a little bit older, like, where do you go? What do you do?
You're
Right? Like,
fucked. No, I'll tell you what you do. You rely on your fucking friends' wives to hook you up with their hot single friend who's not completely nuts. Otherwise, you're
That's
fucked.
plan A.
Yeah, that's plan A.
Or plan B, so you work.
Plan
you
B
date
still
by
works.
Work's a big one.
date by referral.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Or
I would say work second, or you suck it up and you go online.
you go online.
Okay.
But the older you get, the more willing you have to be that they're going to be either divorced or have kids.
Or have kids.
As
Or
not the
maybe.
youngest human being on the planet who is single, I could get it on the divorce thing. Whatever. What's the difference if a
Yeah.
chick married a guy
Yeah,
and
that's
divorced him 2 years later,
Good
or
for both
dated
of them.
one guy?
Yeah.
Because my last girlfriend had a guy for 6 years.
Yeah, same
What the
thing.
fuck's the difference?
Same thing.
But
Kids?
maybe it's because... Hold on. Fuck. Takes a knife out of his back.
Oh fuck.
Well, you know what the difference is? This is up to you to get around it. It's the finality of that decision. She said, "I'm going to spend the rest of my life." He said, "I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person," and they, for some reason, decided not to. It could be legitimate.
No, but I agree.
But you can get over that.
But it's the same thing.
Or
because
class it in the
my
same thing as someone
This is a
breaking
good
up.
thing. My last girlfriend, right? So I'll talk about my last 2 girlfriends really quick and how they're different. My last girlfriend dated a guy for 6 years.
Okay.
That bothered me more. And then the girlfriend before that, so I actually had problems with so many girlfriends.
You're thinking about how many times she was getting effed.
No, not even that. Because I'm going to do better no matter what.
I think that when you become mature, you don't think about
Hold on.
it.
So girlfriend number, we'll say girlfriend number 1 and girlfriend number 2. Girlfriend number 1 dated a guy for 6 years.
Yeah.
Girlfriend number 2 was like a single chick that was banging guys left and right and just did whatever she wanted.
Okay.
Right? Had a list of who cares how many guys, right?
Yeah.
This chick's got 1 for 6 years, this girl's got 30 for 6 years.
Right.
Okay.
It was more comfortable for me to date the girl that had 30 dudes for 6 years than the girl with the one guy
I
for
would have
6
gone
years.
the other way.
And I'll tell you why. Because she's young, she's hot, she likes to get her fuck on, she's doing it, she doesn't care. There's no emotional attachment.
Yeah.
You're with somebody for 6 years, there's a lot of emotional shit in there. Like, you've had a connection with
But you only got to compare your sex to one guy.
I don't care about which is too easy. I want the challenge. Oh, you had 30? I'll beat off 30. I don't want this one leg duck. That's easy to beat.
Clearly, we had a one-upper.
But that's what I mean. Like, the girl that had the guy for 6 years, like any real conversation you're having, or real conversation, or meeting family members, or real emotion.
So that is harder.
Yeah,
sure.
So that's why. What's the difference? Like when I told her 6 years dating or marriage, like that's you've had an intense relationship with somebody before,
with thoughts and feelings. And
like you didn't talk about marriage, like you didn't talk about kids.
That it's going to last forever.
Yeah,
right?
The girl that was just fucking, having a good time. Like if you meet her and you settle down, it's like we were both on the same page and we met each other and we're settling down at the same time. Mm-hmm. The other one already had a relationship that was supposed to be awesome that didn't work out.
Yeah,
right? That was a little more for me to like. So you loved somebody before, eh? Yeah. I'd rather compete with 30 dicks than one love.
It's dick confidence.
I got dick confidence.
I got love.
Hard dick to love ratio.
Hard line is miserable.
Where is that tip? 100? Like what? The dick to love ratio.
Pros and cons. Dating by referral. Okay.
Well, if it gets messy, then the whole friendship gets weird.
Yeah, not only the new friendship that's going to start, but the friendship the person before.
However, none of this matters in mature. Like, if people just stay mature and grounded, none of this shit matters.
I think it's easy to say that, but do you know anyone that's ever lost a friend because they recommended two friends to get together and it didn't work out?
No, I've never. Have you?
No.
But they always end up getting in the middle when they might not want to be involved. Like they maybe only want to get involved to the extent to get you together, but they don't want to pass secret notes back and forth about what.
That's the thing that gets. But you know what? Even if whether you're doing that or not, it's either going to work out or it's not.
That's true.
And if it works out, then great. Who cares how it turned out? And if it doesn't,
the way you set people up, though, like I introduced my one of my close friends.
Oh, here we go.
They got married, right?
Nice. Let's hear this.
And then he's got more credentials than your wife does.
And then they separated.
Never mind. Rewind, delete.
So then I introduced him to his new current girlfriend. And
you keep looking this guy up. This guy owes $1 million. What the fuck am I sitting here for like an asshole?
I joke and I say I introduced him to his second ex-wife.
No, are they together?
They're together now.
And how's it going?
As far as I know, good.
So here's the first one. Your friends are yours because this chick was a bitch.
So here's how I do it. I introduce them in like a casual, everybody goes out for dinner type of thing. And if it happens, it happens. Done.
And that's it.
And that's it.
You're not involved anymore from that point.
No, I get involved as far as making sure they each have each other's phone number. Done.
And that's it.
And then I'm gone.
But how else would you do it though?
No,
some people are like, oh, my day.
The time, yeah. Nelson, what did she say? Nelson, what did he say?
Yeah.
Oh, I think my mind's not right. Oh, he's kind of despondent. He's not into it. Like,
I think we can't go.
And now Nelson's got to give his flop.
I know you, the fucking guys.
You just gotta show up when other girls are around, and that's it. Be your lovely self.
Oh, people hit me.
Okay. Dating by referrals one. The other one, meeting people in your network of
Coworkers are the best.
Coworkers, work, and what Chris does, he meets people all the time. But here's the thing: do you necessarily want to date people you work?
It happens a lot.
It depends.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, what happens?
If you're in
you get another job.
I would not.
What if you're in your career.
I
you
wouldn't
can't
date a
get out of.
chick for real. But you know what? You can't say
real.
you can't say no for
You can't say
anything.
no, yeah.
But I would be hesitant if I don't work in an office setting. If I worked in an office
Right.
and I had to date the chick in the next cubicle,
Right.
like right away, I'd be like, better have that conversation now.
But now you enter the new facts. This girl is too good to pass up.
That's what I mean. Then
Do you now
you're
continue
gonna
to
do
work
it
together,
anyway.
take the risk?
Do you know how
gonna do
many
it
people where I work have like this girl is that other girl's mother, this girl is that guy's husband?
Oh, there's a certain degree to that.
There's
That's
so
gonna
much
happen.
of it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
It's gonna happen. People are sick fucks.
They're bored. They're not really working all day.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Am I gonna stare at this awesome chick's ass and try to like, see what's up? Or
Well, you spend so much time with people you work with. Like, I mean,
you
you're gonna
spend more
get to know
time.
them.
You spend more
Yeah,
time
more
with
than
like your
your
family.
family.
Sometimes
For sure.
depressing.
And it depends the work setting, right? Do you go to the same place every day, work with the same people in your same office, do the same thing, or are you out and about, right? Do you go to different
Out and about.
places? Do you meet new people all the time?
I'll tell you one thing. If I was single, the first place I would go would be the internet. Because it's the best filtration system ever
Have
made.
you ever used the internet before, though?
To date?
To find a date or to find
I
someone?
have two
Okay.
good friends
'Cause,
that
I have.
are getting married
You
this
have.
year.
Okay.
I have no short game. I'm a long
Okay.
marathon runner.
What's that?
When I'm dating, I don't have a short game. I don't have like a pick a chick up at a club, take her home, I'm gonna screw her that night. You know what I mean? My game is like fucking grind them down.
Yeah, Nelson
Okay,
got a
but
plan
this brings
C
a
to
whole
work
this
it,
brings a
but-
whole other point. When
Right.
that is your game, that game gets fucking tiring and boring at some point.
No, but I only go after what I know I'm gonna get at the end of the day.
Yes, because there is a problem with dating over your head. We'll talk about that too. Okay, I want to come back to that. Talk about the online dating because no clue.
I don't know.
Everything I
don't know.
know
You were
is
like
like
two guys what? They-
So one of my good friends, who you know,
yeah.
he was like dating this girl for a long time. Anyways, he's a little younger than me. Like let's say a mid, like early 30s, or late 20s, around there.
Okay.
And he just sucked it up. He's like, I'm done going to bars. I'm done going to clubs. I have a career. Like, where am I going to meet somebody? But I'm ready to meet someone to whatever, have kids or whatever the fuck.
So you go on eHarmony?
They went
Date
on.
online?
They went on one of those. Not that one, but they went on one.
Yeah.
And within
Shipping goes had to be.
he probably went on like 6 dates and
Okay.
kind of dated 6 different girls, not at the same time, but
Okay.
didn't like that one, didn't like this one.
Okay.
But he felt like he's getting married this August, and he found his fiance, who he's engaged to, online.
Well-
And I have 2 friends that. And this is the thing: if you're going to go online dating, and I'm only speaking to people who it's worked for,
Yeah.
Right.
it's like dating in the real world, only you're speeding it up. You're,
Yeah, totally.
If you're on eHarmony, you're going to go on 15 dates and hate all 15 guys. It might be guy number 16 that you have a connection with.
Right.
And what's the difference if you're working in an office and your company hires a random fucking person and that's how you came online
Right.
into your life, or you randomly met
So
someone
that's
online?
the thing you have to
Exactly.
overcome first. Not worry so much about how you got to meet them.
But before
Well, why
it was a
is that even a
stigma.
stigma?
It was a stigma. Like, how'd you guys meet online? Oh, you're 2 fucking losers.
Yeah, but why is
But what's
that?
the difference?
You're
You know
busy,
who
though, right? You're
ruins
busy.
it?
You don't have
But
fucking
what's-
time.
It's most of the people that go online just to find a hookup, right? Is that not?
Yeah, but
it?
then,
Or-
so don't go on POF. Because that's what
but
that's for.
they're on every one of them.
I agree, but that's why it's not going to happen.
But are
right
you
away.
more likely to pay?
You're not going
You're
to
on a
read
pay
through all
service?
these profiles and read something and go on. Like the first time you go on, 10 days later, you're finding your wife or your husband.
Right.
It's still a process, like
course.
if you were outside of it.
Sure.
Well, imagine.
You're
Okay,
just adding to the possibility of finding somebody.
imagine the.
Well, you're begging a lot of chicks.
Imagine the possibility of meeting
Getting further behind.
a random girl in a nightclub at a bar.
Right.
And you guys have drinks and you hang out that night, and then that leads to marriage. What are the odds that that's going to happen? It's like winning the
It
lottery.
happens though.
It does, but the odds are a lot lower,
Yeah.
of whatever way you look
Having
at
a
it.
successful
Of it succeeding
match.
than if you're looking at 100 profiles online and you're going, yep, nope, I'm going to send. Don't copy and paste. Send a fucking legitimate message to the person, specifically to them, that is going to stand out. Then you're more likely to get action.
I think I view it this way: you got to be open-minded if you want that. It doesn't matter how you find your wife, your husband. If you're open-minded and you found that person, who cares how it actually happens?
Exactly.
Sure. Because what's the difference that we were talking about? Let's say your wife has a friend that you introduce them to, and your buddy gets like, well, what's the difference?
Why is that more legit of a reason?
Instead of you reading the profile, your friend already has.
I guess because it's more personal, and that's the old school view of it. Like because someone's bringing, and that's how when you didn't have these resources, that's a traditional way of doing it.
In the 1800s, if they had the internet, I'm sure there'd be all
you were pretty much.
I think like a bunch of years ago, whoever. Let's say when we were like in a lot younger, in our early 20s, you met someone and said they got married online. That was probably pretty shocking.
Because they're so new, though.
But now I can name like two friends this year and a friend last year that are married with kids. And if you ask them how they met
online.
Match.com, eHarmony, you name it.
Yeah.
But it's always the ones you kind of pay for.
Yeah,
that's what I heard
free
too.
ones you're going to get.
You're going to get higher.
This is how I look. If you're on a free one, there's probably just chicks on there that want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Or they're fucking poor and they'll have a life. I don't know.
Well, then they got to filter through a lot more jackasses.
Right.
That's what I mean. I just don't think I'd be serious on it.
I've heard some crazy stuff. Talking to a friend of mine too. He was saying like some of these sites, like the girls are putting must be this height, must make this much, must have this color hair,
but that's
must have this color
perfect.
eyes.
That's perfect.
So I was going to say, is there something wrong with that,
yes.
or is it the perfect thing to do? Is that a good thing?
No. Here I look at it
because it makes it easier for you if you don't hit that.
But if I see that chick is fucking crazy,
right?
Yeah. Because what does money have? Like, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. I want a 6'3", black-haired with the fucking Jerry curl at the back, blue eyes. Like, you're not ordering a pizza here.
Yeah.
So they never said one thing about the guy's personality.
I know.
I see that. Those chicks are whack jobs.
That's a good filter too.
That's a warning sign. Do not message a stupid chick.
Yeah, exactly.
The same guy told me, because he's asking friends, for lack of wanting to do the dating stuff, asking friends, do you know people? Do your girlfriends or wives know people? And this one gal was a dentist, and they said, do you want to meet this friend of ours? And she's like, no. What does he do for a living? And he was a teacher. She goes, no, he makes less than me. And she's the gal's a dentist, so she's.
So go for it. Hang out in the ER then.
Yeah, there's
go hang out in the ER.
Let's billionaire.
Fucking find a neurosurgeon who doesn't have time to hang out with you.
That's what I mean. Let's be honest though. That's perfect for that guy. Because you don't want to meet that chick at a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's say she's into you, and then she asks you what you do, and it's you have a good job. It's not like a chick that cares about that. Maybe you like that as a dude. For me, I tell her to go where to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Beauty. No, it makes sense. These are just questions.
It works just as well the other way. It's like, now I know I don't want to go on a date with you because we're not going to get along.
Right.
You know what I hear from a lot of girls, though? It's so funny. I hear both ways, but what would your reaction to this? I know what mine would fucking be. So you're a chick or a guy, whatever, you're doing online dating, you see a picture. Obviously, let's be honest, looks are the number one thing you're going to see.
It's important. You can't downplay it.
For sure,
So you go on a date, and the picture that they put was like 20 years ago.
Oh, that's false advertising.
I'm sure that happens all the time.
So let's take yourselves out of your cushy married lives or and step into my cold-ass world.
And I meet someone
and you find a girl, you're chit-chatting online. Not this has happened to me, but... And you went there, and she didn't look like she did in the pictures. What would you do?
Is she still hot, or is she like a dog face now?
She's not even remotely as hot as you thought she was.
I'm going to answer the courtesy one for everyone. I think, by courtesy, you stay there, you get to know them, give them a shot.
Well, if they're still
but
attractive,
it depends on
personality.
How different. What's the difference?
Not even the same
weight.
If they're still attractive, if they're mediocre attractive, I guess.
Depends if they're still attractive.
Here's my answer.
Personality can up them, right?
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're better
personality.
You don't even get to the personality. I walk up to that date and you look slightly different than the picture.
Maybe they're more photogenic.
Get a fucking job. I'm out of here. Hey, nice trick.
Get an updated fucking profile.
If it's a different chick, she lied.
People always
photogenic.
Because of the selection process of the pictures, they're always going to pick something that they don't always look like too.
Yeah,
but like a picture at a friend's wedding when they were all
depends on how
which
off.
is fine.
It depends on how off.
If it's the same picture of the person, let's say it was last year at a wedding,
right?
Fine.
Right. It sounds like these are major differences.
If you're talking 20
I'm talking like you're a 40-year-old dude and you put a picture of you when you were 21.
Like
that's crazy.
A lot of their business cards.
Like salespeople in their business cards.
Oh, buddy, I see guys all the time where they have like the full head of hair. They don't have any fucking wrinkles or sitting on the fucking edge of the picture. And then they show up to your house and that guy's bald as shit. And not that, sexy guys are, you can't be bald and look good, but give me a break. That's picture 20 years old. You're not selling my house. You're an asshole, man.
You're a liar. You're not selling my house.
Yeah, I don't trust him now.
Just like you don't go see a house if there's no pictures on it. You're not going to date someone you can't see a picture of.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
You know what's funny?
Every person I know is trying to, like...
The last wedding I went to was they met online. Now that I'm thinking about it, good friend of mine.
Oh yeah,
and it was POF. I just knocked POF because they only
no kidding.
looking for hookups, and they got married.
Are there those speed dating things around here?
Yeah, you know what? Have you ever gone?
No, but a friend of mine.
I want to go, and a
friend of mine from England. A friend of mine from England.
I have a long relationship, and I want to go.
They're not really like popular here, but over there they happen like every weekend. You can find them all the time.
Oh, you can find them here every week too.
What do they do? You go to a restaurant. You do.
So what you do is you
rotate thing.
They give you like a key or whatever.
No, it's just
swingers.
No, like, and every girl has like a lock or something.
Okay.
And then
that's
to
creative.
start it
They don't
off,
do that here.
so you got to go around and talk to every. It's like, so they have a room full of people.
So
everybody
you need to talk to everyone first.
All the girls have a lock. All the guys have a key.
Right.
So they force everyone to talk because the guys got to go around and try every chick's lock.
Yeah, do that here.
That's not necessarily the one that you open is a girl that you like, but let's say, you know what, I didn't like the girl who my lock open, but the two chicks over there I had a good conversation with. Like, it just forced them.
What I heard is you'd sit at a table and talk for 5 minutes.
Conventional way.
And then you swap, right?
Yeah,
but then you write notes or whatever, or you say, this is the person I want to meet, right? And then if they say the same thing and there's a match, then they exchange contact.
So there's a third party that manages that.
The organization that sits up.
Okay, so
they look. Yeah. So they'll see if there's a match between I want to get to know you.
What do I do? I need to open this.
But that's the other way they do it.
And then they exchange phone numbers, right?
So you write down who you liked in the room.
Right.
Yeah. And then, but what if you go to that and they're like, sorry,
nobody?
There's 12 chicks, nobody wrote your name down.
And you're like, well, next.
Just like you said, good. You don't want to be...
Move on to the next speed dating.
Right?
Okay, like, I always get like a look
dating too now. Like, rock climbing. A bunch of group gets together.
Yeah, that would be alright.
Is that what they do? They go on different activities?
There's another company that does shit.
There are. Well, why do people always say it's so hard? Why don't they go and do these?
Because they're putting so much pressure on that shit. That's the problem.
No, here it is. If you meet somebody in your early 20s... Right? And you grow a little bit together and you get... Like, how many people in the early 30s...
Yeah.
Like, those are the people doing well. Like, if you're 22 and going speed dating, are you fucked? Like, why would you do that?
That's true.
Yeah.
But at this age, when you have a career and your friends are all married and you're hanging out with them, like, where are you going to meet people? So you do this other stuff, and either A, you've got to find those other random people that are in the same boat, or they're all fucking losers that can't get anything.
Yeah, but
let's be honest.
There are legitimate, like you were saying.
These 12 chicks on a speeding date, maybe one of them's normal, and they're...
But you find that out in 5 minutes, which is great. You don't have to spend a whole night talking with the girl.
I know, but it's still hard.
Your buddy calls you with some fake emergency.
Like, every time I go to an office or something, I meet somebody through work, they're always like, oh, you're single? And they're like, oh, I got somebody for you. And I always say, I want to see a picture. And they always look at me like I'm an asshole. It's important. Well, why the fuck am I going to take your word from it, who I just met in a business relationship, and your daughter or your best friend I would find attractive?
I agree.
And they're like, don't you care what her personality is? No, if I don't find her attractive.
Exactly.
Right.
If number one isn't I find you attractive, I don't care what your personality is.
You should ask next time, instead of can I see a picture, say on a scale from 1 to 10, what is she?
Yeah.
Is she a 5 or a 7? What are we looking at?
I always get the look, like, did you seriously ask me that? And I'm like, yeah.
But that person
fucking crack.
What does that person think? You're gonna just fucking roll the dice on it?
What kind of miserable woman doesn't want to see a picture of me and go on a date? She'll take any swinging dick? Get out of here. Your chick's a loser.
That's hilarious.
How tough is it to... when you're in the dating game, like, it doesn't work out and you got to start all over again.
We'll have an experiment right now.
Go back a second.
My whole life's an
Who
experiment.
wrote this?
I don't know. I'm just looking at 10 qualities
Anna
for
Maria
a
Hoffman.
future...
I know an Anna Hoffman, but she's supposed to with one N. I thought it was
10 qualities
what's
for a
funny?
future husband or
a lot of clients are the kind of people that I deal with. Every time they find out that I'm single, they're always like, oh, you got time. But then they always give me, like, their top 3 of what to look for.
Top 3 what?
Like, they're like, sit down.
Okay.
And they're like, Don't marry a woman unless she's got these 3 things.
What are the three?
What are they?
Fuck, you think I would listen? What the? No, one.
Why was only 3 of them? You guys wanted me to name
One's always has to do with morals and values. Make sure she's got good morals and values.
Okay.
Right? The next one
Sense of
is...
humor?
The next one is you gotta look at the mom.
Oh.
In both personality and looks. So like if her mom's a wreck, she'll be a wreck.
That's good.
It's not 100%, but
like that.
it always comes up.
70%.
If her mom's like a psycho emotionally, she'll be. If her mom's was fat and got skinny or skinny, however you want to look at it,
Yeah.
she's fucking fugly when she's 50, so is your wife.
Interesting. Okay.
And then, what's the third one they always say? Fuck, I just lost my train of thought. But the third one's like, always find a woman that's like cheerful and generally happy when you've met her as a single woman.
Oh, okay.
Like, you ever meet a girl, like, she's kind of looks pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
She's
just gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Like, you've got, like, dependent on things.
Find a cheerful, happy person.
Right.
Those are the, like, I get variations, but probably the year that I've been doing what I do now, and
those are the 3 things.
And I was single before, and now I'm single again.
Yeah.
I hear the same shit over and over again.
That's interesting.
Do you know what I find funny is people...
And it's all from older guys that have been married for years. Or been divorced. They all say the same thing.
What I find funny is people who are miserably married, and they're like, when are you going to get married? It's like, well, did it work for you?
They want you to join.
Yeah. You want to bring their misery down on everybody because you fucked up? Like, why are they always in a hurry to make everybody around them married?
So they can hang out with you longer.
Bring it in.
Think how much more you guys would see me if I was married.
Well, here's the top 10 things. Ironic you say this. Number 1, and man or woman, let's just say both. Strong moral codes, some, like good values. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good relationship with the family. Is that important? I think it is.
For me, at this point, it is.
Yeah.
Like, there's exceptions to rules, all right?
You marry the family.
Because let's face it, we know people that have dated someone that wasn't tight with their family, and that's a different kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
They either have to get along really well with yours, or their relationship with theirs is so fucked up it screws them up too.
Or they're going to fuck up your relationship with your family.
With your family and expect you to be...
happen.
Okay, right on. What were you going to say, Chris?
Nothing, I'm hopeless.
Understands the
I'm going to start crying in this pillow in a second.
How about this one? And this is an interesting, understand sanctity of marriage. I'm going to ask,
oh God!
when you get to a certain point, you got to be dating.
But why does everybody have to get married? That's another question.
Well, that's the thing. At some point, I think you're going to get to where, whenever you do date, it has to be going towards that. I would think.
Okay, but what if you're happy just being common law and living with the girl? You got to forget the ceremony.
I think in the end, there's fewer women that want that.
There's no difference really if you're living with a girl forever or you get married.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day...
Hold on, but let me ask you this. Do you really believe that when a woman says, I don't want to be married, it's okay, that...
She's full of shit.
Yeah, do you really believe that they don't want to get married?
But let's say you've been together for...
Especially if they've never been married before.
Yeah, I think they've never been married. I can see a woman who's been married before just not giving a fuck anymore about the hoopla. And let's say you're both not into the bullshit of marriage, like the fucking dress, the spending tons of dough, the fucking charade that it is.
Yeah.
But if you've been together for 7 years, and like this is it, I don't know. I would feel weird if it wasn't official.
Really?
Like, even if we go to City Hall and sign on a piece of paper and do a shot of rye and walk out of the place, at least it's official.
Yeah. I don't see what would change.
At the end of the day, I don't want to be... Maybe I'm old school, and what do I know? Because I'm fucking late 30s and still... No, I'm joking. But, like, how are you going to refer to that person? She's always your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Some people, after a long enough time, they just call them their wife anyway.
Maybe, but then what's the point then? You may as well do it anyways. I just think the word has more meaning. Like, you say your girlfriend,
you're
wife. Building something.
It's different.
When you say it's your wife, man, that girl's different.
When my wife and I were dating, obviously it was an exciting time.
Now hold on. Now you have a cat?
No, listen. When we got engaged... I never could have expected it to be super, super exciting. And some guys would have thought, oh shit, it's the beginning of the end. For me, it was like, holy, we got something again to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because when you date...
So now what do you have to look forward to?
You always have stuff to look forward to.
Kids?
And if you don't, it's your fault. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
The best advice I ever got on relationships was that when you're with the person, no matter how alike or different you are, your future outlook has to be the same.
Yeah.
Because no matter what your indifferences or your likeness,
The end game is the same.
you're going to work for it. You're going to stick together for it. You're going to please each other for it. And you're going to have ups and downs, but you're going to work through them because your eye is always on that prize.
Yeah.
No, I agree
And
with that.
if you're in a relationship where you have no prize, then you know what? It's going to fall apart. So, I dated my wife for a long time. I'm saying is, in the beginning, obviously, it was exciting. When we got engaged, it became super exciting again, more than I ever expected. Because all of a sudden, we had these things to plan, things to look for. I wasn't just working to, put money in the bank and just be like, I can do whatever I want with that. It was going towards something. I was actually doing something not only for her, but for me.
Yeah.
And then now getting married, you get a house, you start expanding, you think of traveling together, have kids together. There's so many things beyond that. And I think naturally you've got to move in a direction where you're moving for more.
Yeah.
If you don't, then the relationship's dead, right? And what are you really doing? You're passing time with each other, right?
Can I at least
a lot of people
push
do that.
the iPod on my phone so I can listen to it? I'm dating my next
It was like a motivation
so I don't
speech.
fuck that up.
when you say you have a lot of miserable friends or something that are married and say, I can't wait for you to join, I never tell people to get married, but because I always tell them, I want you to be doing what makes you happy. And that's it.
Well, that's what that's to me, I've never once said to somebody, what are you waiting for? Why aren't you married? Why the fuck do I care so much about your life?
Exactly.
That I'm going to invest in this conversation.
You do it when
tell you that you need to get married.
Yeah. Two individuals first have to be ready and confident in themselves first before they jump into taking another person and moving into something that, because you attach as a married couple, one fuck up can screw the other person's life.
Yeah.
So get your shit together before you go into.
But it always makes me laugh. I always feel like, why are you so concerned? But when I get married,
that's a good point. But at the same time, I think
small talk.
Well, they say misery loves company. But at the same time, you've got to be mature enough to know and to think for yourself that just because that guy's life is fucking miserable doesn't mean when I get married to the person I love, we're going to be miserable. My wife and I, we basically committed to doing things the way we want to, not necessarily the way everybody else wants to, right? Yeah, so
buddy, story of my life.
like you say, I mean, it's a little boring to think, you grow up, you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, you pay off your debts, you find a person, you marry them, you have kids, you retire, and
you die.
Sounds boring.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to enrich those parts of your life, make it exciting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to do it the same variation as someone else. But I think eventually you're going to want to or have to do those things, unless you want to die alone, right? When they do
so great, I'm dying alone. Fuck this part.
Hey, there's honor in that too, my friend.
There won't be when I die alone. I'll tell you that.
Malcolm Gladwell has a book called Outliers, and it studies the longest, highest lifespans of folks in Europe. I think it's an Italian community.
Okay.
They moved to the United States and didn't adopt to American style of eating, lifestyle, drinking, whatever. They're still eating high-fat foods, this, and lots of over-drinking, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But they still managed to live long lives. And what Gladwell was able to pinpoint is that the sense of community, right? They had folks around them and family and friends around them all the time. They always engaged in different things. And they
don't be a fucking hermit.
That single thing, right? To attribute that to a long life, right? So, and they say, I mean, married people live longer than single people, right? I heard a story.
Great.
Mark Maron had a podcast.
Great.
with Larry King.
Lifeline is getting shorter.
Larry King talked to Jackie Gleason about Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Elvis Presley was first time on his show. He was going to perform, and he just knew Elvis Presley was going to be famous. He calls Elvis over and he says, "Look, kid, you're going to make it huge one day. Get out there, go out, talk to people. Don't stay alone. Don't isolate yourself." And I think Elvis said,
died on the shitter.
He died alone on the shitter. Yeah, and I think he had a reputation for being alone, right? Like I know he had.
It's because he was afraid of his manager. He was going to beat him.
Well, you know what? Like, I guess the point is, really, you can't live your life alone. It is.
So basically, if I don't find a wife soon, I'm gonna die miserable.
Every day that goes by. Every day that goes by is
I keep on singing down fucking.
I was crying.
Every day
You're not watching football anymore. Peyton Manning and everything else we talked
is
about.
a day you die earlier.
No, I can think of two things on based
Doesn't your
on.
wife have any hot single friends?
Number one,
Great. See?
We're trying to introduce you to one, remember?
See?
you can't freak out about the time or when it's going to happen.
No,
We-
that's when.
No, obviously.
Yeah, I don't.
But you know what? Okay, so I'm in my early 30s.
Mhm.
When I meet, it doesn't really bother me to the point where, I freak out every day. I'm like, oh shit, I'm 30,
Yeah.
whatever now, and I'm still single. I'm going to lose my mind. Because I want it to happen naturally. But when I meet people, especially through work, and they see what I do, and I'm decently in shape, and whatever,
Yeah.
they're always boggled out of their minds
you're not.
why I'm single.
Yeah, because you're fucking
they're
ahead.
and then they're
Now they think you're screwed up.
yeah, so they're either you're fucked up, or they feel sorry for me, 33.
Why don't you start talking to girls at your gym? You ever do that?
You don't want to dirt girls at the gym.
There's no girls at the gym.
Okay, this is what you do.
Okay,
I know.
hold on.
I got your answer
B,
for you, my friend.
I don't want a chick that does shows because they're all fucking crazy. my last girlfriend was kind of went to the gym kind of decently on her own, and when we got together, it was because there's no there's no leeway in me going or not going. I'm fucking going. So either you can deal with it for an hour and a half, or you can fucking come with me.
Yeah, right.
So she came with me, and at first it bothered the fuck out of me. I'm in a routine.
Yeah.
I'm serious in there.
Yeah.
And she, did classes and was in good, decent shape. But then it was just an activity that we did together, and I liked it. So I think that's on the.
So here's the answer for you. I have it.
For what?
To what question?
Just go into yoga, my friend. Start doing yoga. You will find
Yoga's different. Yeah.
You will find the friendliest women on earth.
I do yoga
in that yoga studio. Start talking to these girls. They are in shape. They love life. Look, I'm looking here at the next list that we haven't even started. Something about respects human life. You will never see a woman that respects human life more than someone in yoga.
That's what that's all built around.
They are the
It's a
nicest
faith.
people.
Yeah.
Friendly. Always smiling. They're aware. I don't even know how to explain these people.
They're generally in good shape.
I just want to spend more time with them because
you know what I
they're
do?
hipsters.
I used to do yoga. Well, I still do yoga occasionally.
Yeah.
But you get there, and it's silence.
Right, because you got to be in your
And you
chaturanga.
do yoga, and then the lights come on, and everybody scatters. And I was like, I'm doing yoga because I like yoga.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to meet girls there.
You
But you know
won't.
what I
What's
thought
this
of?
group you're part of? Because you guys chit chat and
Well, because it's different. It just happens to be she's a yoga instructor that put together a group of people to get together once a month.
Yeah.
So they're all into yoga because that's how she met all these people.
Oh, okay.
I just ended up meeting her because she does acupuncture. So there's me, the non-yoga guy, infused in this group of yoga people, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is a beautiful world with these people.
You know what I started doing? And not
So I started doing yoga a little bit more because of this.
I started doing, all the women's classes at a Good Life gym or whatever. They have body pump and all these fucking classes. Mm-hmm. I started doing that shit. Not to meet women. It's all full of women.
They're good
But I was
classes.
I need to do
You
something
can't dog
different other
them.
than be a meathead and lift all these weights.
Yeah.
So I started doing it, and I was like, these fucking classes are super hard.
They're hard.
Yeah, they're good.
Kicking
It's hard
my
to make
ass.
them. Body pump is good. I like that class.
But then I'm in there, and I'm like, it's all full of super hot
Because
women who are active and in shape.
Right.
The fucking problem is they all got rings on their fingers.
So the yoga studio
They got
that's
sisters.
the yoga studio that's near my house. Apparently, it's very social. When you walk in there, everybody's chattering and stuff. So maybe you're just going to the wrong studio.
Maybe.
You need to go to a social one. Go to the community shit.
Go to
There's
the
always-
specialty one. Stop going to the Walmart of gyms where they offer everything. Go to the specialty.
Yeah.
yoga.
Wait a minute. You do yoga in the gym, or you go to a yoga studio?
Both. I switch it up.
Do the yoga studio. That's what you got to do.
This next one understands the sanctity of marriage. I think they have to. I think if not marriage or whatever you want to call it, if you want, you gotta have the long term in mind. Respects human life. Okay, I mean, what kind of insensitive person are you? This is interesting. Hard work.
You know what? I lied. When I talked to all those guys, remember I was saying they gave me 3? I always hear that one too.
Which one?
Work
Work ethic. Yeah.
If she's a lazy shit, you're going to want to kill her.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you're going to take on the work of two people.
Exactly.
Right? Because the
You need a
relationship's
go-getter.
always the two contributing. If that person's used to being spoon-fed, well, guess what? You're holding the spoon. Shared life goals.
Fuck me.
Goes back to what I said. If you have no...
Honors your femininity?
Oh, I got tons.
Well, this is for men.
That's got to be a woman's list looking for a man.
I
Yeah,
think,
it is.
yeah, this is...
Because if a woman honors my femininity, I have a problem.
This is what it is. Yeah, it's a woman's list for in a husband.
Yeah.
But I said just look at for both.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is interesting in the sense that as a guy, we're kind of macho. We could be macho a lot of the time.
Which is why I don't think a lot of guys go to those classes, the group classes.
I agree, because
Yeah.
like it's full of women. It's not, like those
They
women
think
will
it-
fucking kick your ass. Those classes are bad.
Yeah, I think that's right. You have to have a level of respect and understanding what they go through, and I think you can connect with them deeper.
But it's almost like the guys think that they're not getting enough of a workout in those group classes.
The problem is they're getting too much of a workout. They can't-
yeah, they don't want to look like
I'd
wussies.
rather do curls in the back than fucking get my ass handed to me by all these chicks squatting for 10 minutes straight.
Selflessness, faithful,
Obvi.
knows their purpose in life. I think that's important. They got to know what they want. I think before you can be in a healthy relationship, I would hope that the other person has kind of had in their mind primarily what they want to do and who they want to be. Because sometimes when they figure that out later, you're not a part of it anymore. Right?
Man,
I mean,
I've you're right. I got so many stories of guys that got married, and then their wife kind of figured it out for herself in a sense that knows what she wants, and just like you're right.
You're
know
not a
what?
part of Yeah, it's
part of
not
this
you. Could you imagine having that conversation one day? You think you're on the same path, and then...
When do you see yourself in 5 years and you're nowhere on the list?
Well, you think you're in the picture, but maybe not. Right on. I don't know. Well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
What's
So
the
does
best
this
thing
mean
you
we
say?
have to go out and like...
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Yeah,
We gotta go drink ourselves in shame now? For
Let's.
I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go drink myself and try not to cry for the rest
Let's
of the
find. Let's find Chris a.
Find Chris a fiance.
So what?
.com.
What are you looking for then? You tell
This
us.
is what I'm saying on this. Get the fuck.
That's what I want to know. I want to know.
No, you know what? They're
What's
going
it
to this
gonna
thing
take?
already in love.
We haven't seen a picture yet. That's
You know what's going to happen? When this thing gets big, there's going to be a lineup of girls trying to meet Chris. It'll be a segment.
Yeah, it'll be 10 years from now, and I'll be too old to fucking do anything.
What's
Who did Chris date this week?
what?
Oh fuck it. Gotta get off that fucking train.
Hey man, it's gonna happen.
So you're looking to settle down then, eh?
Yeah, you have to. It's
Yeah, I know.
you know what? You come to. We've had a lot of talks about this lately, me and you. You come to a point, probably later for me than most guys, but you just change what you want,
Yeah.
and what you look for. And how you see yourself, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, you
have a
come
lot
into
of
your own
personal
now.
reflection and the macho, I sling it to a million broads and I have a good time all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun and dandy. But at some point, you want to connect with somebody on a level that you guys, let's say, are connecting with your wives. Something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think until you realize that on a personal level, you're going to be a fucking stupid.
You're going to be an individual no matter who you're with, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't do them any favors.
It's called growing up. It fucking sucks.
If you can act the part, you can act like you're ready with someone, but when they're ready to go and you're not on their tempo, they get rid of you. They know you get found out real
Speaking
quick.
to the fucking choir.
Right? But when you're on the same wavelength, it works. Like, what can I say? Yeah. Not everything has to be what...
Stay tuned to episode 30. And
Yeah, we'll see how far this gets. How many episodes?
We'll have a wedding podcast.
We turn the
on
tide.
episode 106.
Chris will get married before me, and I've been dating for 11 years.
Oh, fuck that.
So,
I can only hope so, man.
it's crazy. I mean, hey, what are you going to do?
I said that to the girl that just got married and she met her husband online, and we were engaged. And I said to her, "You're going to get married before me."
Want to be free?
And I'm still with the same girl.
Thank God you're still with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, you still keep it together. Obviously, you see a future together. What can you say?
Yeah.
So that's it. You don't hear a lot of fucking shows that talk about men talking about dating and relationships.
Yeah,
For an hour at least.
it's the holidays. We got a sentimental podcast.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It's coming up, and we just want all the best. Travel safe. Don't drink and drive.
Are you coming for New Year's?
We're gonna have the special edition New Year's
Are we
podcast.
gonna have another? Because this is gonna open up all of the can of worms.
No,
I hang out with 8 couples who want to kill myself.
Yeah,
at 12
no,
o'clock.
have
it's
your
not like
future
that.
girlfriend on the podcast too.
We'll have a bevy of beauties here at the New Year's show.
Yeah, you can have
We
nothing.
have a special New Year's show here.
But we have to have a single girl for Chris here because if it's all
Yeah, we're
couples, I
gonna
would
do
want
it
to
again.
I
Think
could
of
exclude
what single girls you can bring, and
I don't know any.
None of you guys know what you do.
The
All the single
one
girls.
that I introduced him to, he rejected.
You introduced me to a chick?
well, she came out with us.
Well,
You don't remember
we'll
when
wait
we
till the podcast's over.
went to
Yeah.
sushi. Right?
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Merry Christmas.
I'm gonna cry for the rest of the night.
And we'll catch you for the New Year's show with a special, all right? So, Chris, Nelson, Neil, Nobody's Podcast. Merry Christmas. We love you. Bye.
This is how we end the sentimental podcast.
And my paint wet, dripping, shining like my 20 bows. I don't got 20 bows, but I'm on those Vogues. That's those big white walls.